Okay.
There we go. Okay. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the flag of the
of the
United States of America and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for which it stands,
stands
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and
and
justice for all. We're going to mess that up one time, everybody being at a different spot, but we did it. Okay. I will do roll call. Trustee Lawrence is not with us this evening. That is why I am chairing the meeting. Trustee Mayo,
Here.
Trustee Cound,
Here.
Trustee Durkee,
Here.
Trustee Mason is here. And just for the record, Trustee Lawrence was with us during closed session. We will report out now from our closed session. During the 7.1 negotiations, we received information and then gave directions to our negotiating team. 7.2, discipline, dismissal, release, or reassignment of public employee. We accepted the resignation of employee number 34740. 7.3, public employee performance evaluation. Dr. Clark gave us more direction on how we'll be moving forward with his evaluation, and we appreciate that. 7.4, readmission of student 4-20 to regular schools in Mount Diablo District was denied by a 5-0 vote. 7.5, admission of student A21 to regular schools in Mount Diablo was, we voted 5-0 to admit that student into our school district. And 7.6 on confidential matters, we approved a settlement and as a 5-0 vote. And that is it for closed session. So that takes us to public comment. I understand we have a couple of public comments at this time, at least one.
Two.
Two, okay.
Hello, I am one of 11 elementary general and vocal music teachers currently serving all elementary students in our district. I'm calling on behalf of my team to alert the board and the public to the fact that our district currently has 4 open positions for the elementary general and vocal music position. To the best of our knowledge, the district is not currently recruiting for these positions and they are not posted on EdJoin. We urge the school board to ensure that the district immediately begin recruiting and hiring for these positions. During the distance learning phase of education, general music instruction for our elementary students in MDUSD has been reduced by 66%, in part because of lack of personnel. We want to be sure that the district is prepared to pivot smoothly into high quality music education during the hybrid phase of learning and to return to pre-pandemic standards of music education once community health allows in-person learning to resume fully.
Hi, my name is Marnaz. I'm Melina Musavi's mom and she is in Sequoia. I just wanted to give you feedback and I had a real quick request. I understand that we have 2 hours of Zoom meeting and then two and above hours of independent study. I would really like it if they can have a little bit more Zoom meeting with the teachers because that 2 hours is not enough and they have like when they finish their homework they have extra time and I would appreciate it if they could consider having a longer time of a Zoom meeting. I just want to give you my feedback. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye-bye.
That public comment for now.
Okay. And just for the public that is listening, just want you to know that during public comment, pursuant to the Brown Act, the board listens. We don't discuss unless we need to ask a clarifying question, which we can't currently do that. But your item will either be referred to a staff member or possibly put on a future agenda. So thank you for calling in and leaving your comments. Next item, 9.0, communications. Do we have any district organizations that wish to leave a comment?
Yes, at this stage, normally Board President Brian Lawrence reads the statements as attached on the agenda.
Oh, I don't have them in front of me. Can you read them, Austin? Do you have them?
Do that. Yes. Just a moment. So first, we have a comment from Local 1 CST. Their comment reads, To the MDUSD Board of Education. Our negotiation team met on August 31st, and unfortunately, we still have not been able to reach a tentative agreement. The district spokesperson, Roy Combs, presented a revised draft list of our TA'd articles. To our surprise, we noticed the removal of the, quote, no furlough clause from our contract. Of course, the CST negotiation team said no, this is not correct. We are only asking to have this language in our contract for 6 more months through June 30th, 2021. At this rate, we won't ratify until the end of 2020 if we do then. We met with Dr. Clark last week, and he told us it's illegal to have, quote, no furlough days language in the contract since, quote, furlough days are negotiable. We pointed out that this is odd, as it has been in the last 2 CST contracts. If for any reason the district would want to propose furlough days, they would have to come to the table with us and propose it per the district's suggestion for changing the wording. If we say no, then the district will, we feel, look for other ways to make more cuts, layoffs. We, the CST negotiation group, were told by MDUSD Group, aka Roy, would take our recommendation to keep the, quote, no furlough language until the end of the 2021 school year, to you, the MDUSD board, for today's board meeting. CST classified members have been and continue to be the frontline workers at the sites and district office. We are constantly being asked to work out of class and or to take over duties and responsibilities of positions that have been eliminated. We are not getting a salary increase, and many of us will be paying between $500 and $700 in medical copays starting in January 2021. Some support by the board would be greatly appreciated, and we hope the board's direction is in our favor. Thank you for your time. Carmen. Next, we have a statement from Medea President Anita Johnson that reads, Dear School Board Trustees, I write regarding item 12.1 and ask that you deny the renewal of Rocketship Charter School. State law currently allows school boards to deny charter schools on the basis of negative financial ramifications on our district. Rocketship has and would continue to have negative financial ramifications on our district and should not be renewed for that reason. Thank you, Anita. And last, we have from Lisa Davis of Local 1. She reads, Good evening, board members. In the past, we always looked forward to the bargaining process and working proactively through the process towards progress until its completion. This is a true historical first for our unit that negotiations has taken this long to finalize. Public Employees Union has always sought a conclusion that can be satisfactory with all parties. Sadly, I take this opportunity to remind you that we are still in mediation and have not ended our discussions towards the completion. Board members, we are once again asking that you work with your negotiations team and afford the district's team the ability to finalize what we started years ago. As always, we are asking for progress and affording respect that should be afforded to each and every CST employee. Our goal, of course, has always been to settle a contract. We hope that you're willing to work with us in this process and ready to finalize this process as well. And that's it for the statements from our organizations.
Thank you for the assist on that, Austin. Okay, 10.0 recognitions and resolutions. 10.1 review and potentially approve resolution 20/21-11 proclaiming September 9th through October 14th as Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yep, and I have that item. So we would like to present to the Board of Education for consideration. That would be resolution number 20/21-11, and this is for Hispanic Heritage Month. And I'll just read the first section and the last section. Whereas the state of California is home to over 2 million Hispanic students from kindergarten through grade 12. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mount Diablo Unified School District proclaims the month beginning September 14th and ending on October 14th as Hispanic Heritage Month and encourages all schools to commemorate this occasion with appropriate instructional materials, and be it further resolved that is this resolution be distributed to all schools within the district.
Thank you.
Madam Vice President, I move that we approve the board resolution to recognize Hispanic Heritage Month.
I'll second.
All righty. Trustee Mayo,
Yes.
Trustee Durkee,
Yes.
Trustee Cowan,
Yes.
and Trustee Mason votes yes. So that's 401. Okay. Next is 10.2, review and potential approval of Resolution 20/21-16, Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, September. Is that with you as well, Dr. Clark?
Yes, I will. I'll take this item as well for consideration for board approval. And that is, I'll read the first section and the last section, but this is about Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, which is September. So whereas suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among youth between 10 and 14 years of age. However, suicide is preventable. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Mount Diablo Unified School District declares September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Be it further resolved that the Board of Education encourages parents, guardians, and the community to support the work of staff to help prevent suicides.
Thank you.
Madam President, I move to approve Resolution 20/21-16, Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, September 2020.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Trustee Mayo,
Yes.
Trustee Durkee,
Yes.
Trustee Cowan,
Yes.
and Trustee Mason votes yes, so that passes.
Can I just make a comment as well?
Yes, absolutely.
So there's lots of great information posted on our website. The National Institute of Mental Health is one of the great, we partner with them, and it's a great resource that just had pages and pages of guidance. The thing that always concerns, well, all this obviously concerns me, but I think about a lot is, for parents who are not sure, if their child or family member is struggling with this, and it can be a very challenging, difficult thing to decide. And unfortunately, we heard a great student speaker a couple of years ago at one of our speaker series talk about that whole process. And, when parents are left with no other options is, the 5150, which can be a super traumatizing event for everybody. And so it's kind of unfortunate if that's all they know to do. And so I just want to encourage all of us, not just everybody, as citizens of the universe, to try to become more well-versed on all the things, the guidance that this organization provides, just, whether it's family members, someone, whatever, just to be a little better prepared. I mean, I'm talking to myself as well, to know there's so many things that we can do to try to help those who are struggling with this issue. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that takes us to 11.1, review and potential approval of personnel appointment. Dr. Clark?
Yes, so we're very excited about item 11.1, but there's much more to it. And so therefore, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Rubio to talk about this item.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to bring for your review and potential approval and introduce to you Theodora Papas, who was the selected candidate for Valhalla Elementary School. Ms. Papas has been an educator for 20 years in the past in our district in MDUSD. She has a bachelor's degree from UC Davis and a master's from Cal State Fullerton. She began her teaching career in 2001 at Deer Valley High School in Antioch, and has also been an assistant principal for 6 years at Pine Valley Middle School in San Ramon. And she has served as vice principal at various sites, including Riverview Middle, Pine Hollow Middle, Foothill Middle, and Cambridge Elementary School. Theodora grew up in the city of Berkeley, and one thing she enjoys is spending many summers in Greece, where her parents are from, where it sounds like the air is crisp and clear, which sounds pretty good right now. And Theodora is thrilled to join the Valhalla Viking community and continue working with all the stakeholders to grow and nurture all students.
So, Madam President, I move the appointment of Theodora Pappas to Valhalla Elementary School principal.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Trustee Mayo,
Yes.
Trustee Cone,
Yes.
Trustee Durkee,
Yes.
and Trustee Mason votes yes, so that passes 401.
And Theodora may be with us.
Congratulations. Is she here?
She
Yeah,
might
she's
be.
there. She's there.
She is here, and I just want to say I had to look at the boxes, and I said, "Who is that woman?" Because I've never seen her without a mask. So, so anyway,
Now do you recognize me?
now I recognize you. Go ahead, proud principal.
Thank you. Thank you so much to the board members, to you, Dr. Clark, to the executive cabinet. I'm so grateful for all of my colleagues throughout MDUSD who have inspired and guided me. Thank you so much to the fabulous Valhalla community for the warm welcome and support. I am so excited and happy to officially be the principal at Valhalla Elementary. I am honored to continue serving this amazing, radiant community, caring and talented teachers and staff, hardworking and helpful parents, and wonderful students. Thank you so much.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, that takes us to another appointment. Dr. Clark?
Yep. Again, to many of you, this may just look like item 11.2, but I can rest assure you that this is a very, very important item. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Rubio to introduce this item.
Thank you very much. And board members, I asked Dr. Scudero if he wouldn't mind doing one of these tonight. So Dr. Scudero, Dan, are you with us?
I am. We are pleased to bring for your review and potential approval the appointment of Melissa Brennan as the new principal at Horizons. Melissa Brennan has been an educator for 19 years, the past 11 in MDUSD. Melissa served as a BHS2 at the Alliance program at Olympic High School. While working at the Alliance program, she was inspired to embark on a journey of educational leadership. Melissa transitioned to an administrator and worked as a vice principal at Mount Diablo High School and the Pine Hollow Middle School. She has found joy working in alternative education, supporting high school students, teachers, and their families. Melissa lives in Danville, where she enjoys spending time with her husband and charismatic 6-year-old son. She enjoys visiting her family, running, creating in the kitchen, exploring nature, and finding the best beaches in California. Melissa is thrilled to join the Horizon Prospect community and is committed to improving the achievement and school experience for all students.
Thank you.
Madam Vice President, I move that we approve the appointment of Melissa Brennan as principal of Horizon School.
Second.
Thank you. Trustee Mayo,
Yes.
Trustee Durkee,
Yes.
Trustee Cound,
Yes.
Trustee Mason votes yes, so that's 401. Is she with us this evening?
Absolutely. Melissa, would you like to share a little bit with the board?
Yes, I would love to. I just wanted to let you know I am thrilled to be appointed principal at the Horizon Prospect Alternative Programs. I'm eager to make a positive contribution to our district and to the school, and I'm looking forward to working with everyone on our team, and I hope to make all of you very proud. Thank you so much.
Thank you and congratulations. All righty. Our next item is the public hearing, and I have a statement to read. On July 27th, 2020, the board received the request to renew the Rocket Ship Futuro Charter School, seeking a renewal term of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2026. The Mount Diablo Unified School District originally denied the petition to form Rocket Ship Futuro Charter School on July 15, 2015. The charter school appealed to the State Board of Education, and on February 9, 2020, the State Board of Education granted the appeal. Rocket Ship Futuro has been operating in the district under a charter authorized by the State Board of Education since 2016-2017 school year. Today, the board will hold a public hearing on the renewal request as required by the Education Code 47605B to consider the level of support for the renewal request by teachers, other employees, and parents and guardians. As part of this public hearing, the petitioners may make a presentation and/or provide statements to the board regarding the renewal request. The board will take no action and will not conduct any deliberation on the renewal request at tonight's meeting. Rocket Ship Futuro Charter School is now invited to address the board, and it will be followed by 1 hour of public comments. So is someone here to make a presentation, Dr. Clark?
Yes, I would like to introduce to you Ms. Marie Alvarado Gill, and as many of you I'm sure know her. She is a representative from Rocket Ship, and she's done some great work out in the at her particular school and at other schools around the Bay Area. So we're very pleased to open up this public hearing and let Ms. Alvarado Gill share the story of Rocket Ship.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To presentation, so I'm gonna work with, oh, wonderful, thank you. So we'll rest on.
And I just want to say, Ms. Gill, we're having a hard time hearing you. So if you could just speak up a little bit, that would be great.
Okay, I'm gonna speak really loud. So we'll rest on this first slide here for just a moment. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. At Rocket Ship Public Schools, we believe that all children have the potential and that great public schools unleash that potential. Much like the Mount Diablo Unified School District, we understand that in order to ensure equal access to educational opportunities for all students, we must work together. We must work together to eliminate the impact of disparities in achievement and performance to ensure that social justice in our community is met. We have the opportunity to rewrite the narrative and lay the groundwork for a district charter alliance. Districts and charters are better for kids when we're learning together, growing together, and serving together. Next slide, please. Good evening, Superintendent Clark. I see President Lawrence is absent today. He's here in spirit, and esteemed trustees of the board. I'm Marisa Alvarado Gill, Regional Director for Rocket Ship Public Schools. I invite all our board members to read the executive summary, in addition to reviewing the charter petition and actively engaging with us on questions and answers. We hope to achieve a positive staff recommendation and your vote in support of a partnership between Rocket Ship and the district as the new authorizer of Futuro Academy. Next slide, please. Parents from the Monument Corridor and surrounding neighborhoods have been pivotal in building a movement to create equitable educational opportunities in our community. Rocket Ship Futuro opened in 2016. Tonight, we have the powerful voices of hundreds of parents participating in public comment, dozens of teachers giving testimony through letters, and a growing audience of Rocketeer families watching live stream both on Facebook and on your page. Next slide, please. Rocket Ship serves students in grades TK through 5th with excellence and providing what is possible in public education. By focusing exclusively on elementary school education, we are working to improve the entire ecosystem of public education rather than create a parallel K-12 system. Excellent elementary schools beget stronger middle schools, which beget stronger high schools. Next slide, please. It was a pleasure for us to host Trustee Mason at our public tour and crosswalk ribbon cutting event last March. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we are now only offering virtual tours. I hope you had a chance to see this brief yet dynamic video on your own. Next slide, please. To further describe our school philosophy, please welcome fellow Rocketeer, founding principal, and parent, Mr. Jason Colon.
Thank you, Ms. Marie, and good evening, prestigious members of the board. As Marie mentioned, my name is Jason Colon. I am proud to have served as the founding principal of Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. I have been an educator for 16 years and have had the privilege of spending those eight of those at Rocket Ship and 6 of those as a school leader. When I began my career as a special education teacher, I set out to ensure all students, no matter their circumstances, receive a quality education. As I looked to transition into education leadership, I joined Rocket Ship because its vision and mission were so aligned to my values. In particular, I was drawn to the Rocket Ship school model, which rests on 3 pillars. 1, to propel students' achievement through personalized learning. 2, to develop exceptional educators by investing in their growth and development. And 3, to partner with parents to help them champion their children's education. This last pillar speaks to the core of who I am as a Rocketeer, as an educator, and as a proud parent of a 2nd grader who's now attending Rocketship Futuro Academy. At Rocketship Futuro Academy, we believe in the power of parents who are deeply invested in the child's success, contribute to a vibrant school community, and demand equity in public education. Next slide, please. 4 years ago, we embarked on a journey when we welcomed our very first classes of students to Rocketship Futuro Academy. Our parents named the school to reflect the core belief that early childhood education was key to shaping the future of our communities. Moreover, our families, in partnership with staff, selected our 5th core value, purpose. And our purpose is to transform our community to a place where all kids, no matter their skin color, native language, or immigration status, have a great public school in their neighborhood. The work we do every day with our students and families is the work of equity and social justice. Every single day when we say our creed, we are reminded of our purpose to be fearless, our responsibility for actions, and the need to be persistent in attaining excellence. Next slide, please. At Futuro Academy, we partner closely with parents to create a school that is deeply connected to the community we serve. We believe that true partnership requires parents not just having a seat at the table, but having a voice in the decision made at the table. Our parents help shape our academic approaches by voicing their feedback through formal surveys, attending cafecitos, joining us on our monthly cultural event planning committees, and actively participating on our school site council, among many other things. Some of our families don't speak English, so our team worked together to find solutions to get to know each family story through home visits and frequent communication. Next slide, please. Parent power extends beyond our school walls into our network and larger community. Parents serve on our regional advisory board as well as on the Rocketship governing board. We celebrate our parents while also leveraging their power and passion for education equity more broadly. The new crosswalk across Olivera Road is just one example of how powerful parent leaders are capable of bringing change to their communities. In partnership with the City of Concord, our families formed a pact with neighborhoods to help solve traffic problems and pedestrian safety. Next slide, please. And just this last year, we were able to host our first annual middle school fair for our first graduating class. By bringing the district principals all together, we gave our families the opportunity to understand the middle school program and find a great fit for their child within the Mount Diablo Unified School District. And I would like to take a moment to thank those that made this possible, particularly the principals from the middle schools. Lisa Sullivan of Valley View, Chris Clausen of El Dorado, Eric Wood of Riverview, Glenn Daly Gasco of Oak Grove, and Kevin Honey of Sequoia. Thank you all. Thank you all for your partnership. We look forward to working with you in the near future. Next slide, please. And now, to take us into the future, I proudly introduce you to my esteemed colleague, Rocketship Futuro Academy Principal, Ms. Kimberly Brown.
Thank you so much, Mr. Colon. It is an honor to present to you virtually this evening. I am Kimberly Brown, Principal of Rocketship Futuro Academy. A former kindergarten teacher for 7 years, I had the honor of serving as the assistant principal at Futuro before rising to be the current principal. I am so proud of this school community, especially how we responded to the unforeseen closure of our campus closing last spring due to COVID-19. Within just 2 days, a virtual version of our school day was up and running, focusing on live teaching, small group instruction, individual coaching, daily assemblies, virtual celebrations, and more. Getting the foundation down quickly, we continued to innovate and iterate. Staying true to our inclusion model, we have co-teachers in every Zoom classroom and use different methods to reach our Rocketeers of all needs. Our teachers continue to find new ways to engage students through virtual field trips, song and dance, virtual home visits, and more. Like our regular school day, our distance learning days are robust, focused, and joyful. Next slide, please. Early on in the pandemic, it was clear that COVID-19, like so many other crises, was disproportionately affecting our low-income Black and Brown families. This, combined with many of our families losing their jobs, meant that they needed our support now more than ever. Within 2 weeks of transitioning to distance learning, we launched an initiative called CareCorps. Every Rocketship school has a designated CareCorps team of at least 4 staff members who are responsible for contacting every Rocketship family at least twice per week. Their mission is to support our most vulnerable families who are experiencing the devastating impacts of the COVID-19 crisis. The CareCorps sends a brief wellness survey to all families to ensure that everyone feels safe at home and identifies any other needs in the school community. Next slide, please. This crisis has thrown our world upside down, closing our campuses and moving our work from the classroom to our homes. But just because our school buildings are closed doesn't mean learning and innovation stops. Through this challenging time for our school and community, we have risen together to demonstrate what is possible. Teachers, students, families, and leaders have united to elevate education in new and inspiring ways. Next slide, please. Rocketship Futuro Academy serves a similar population to our surrounding district schools that our students would otherwise attend. The majority of our students are classified as socioeconomically disadvantaged, Latinx, and/or English language learners. Next slide, please. Socioeconomic status in this country is directly tied to educational achievement levels. 80% of our students are classified as disadvantaged, yet 53% are at or above grade level in ELA on the most recent state assessment. This is well ahead of the state and district averages. Next slide, please. In math, Futuro Rocketeers lead the way with nearly 3 times the percentage of students at or above grade level compared to their peers in the district. Next slide, please. We believe that all students can succeed. Rocketship Futuro Academy has more than 9 times the district percentage of English language learners at or above grade level in math, and more than 6 times the percentage in ELA. Next slide, please. And Rocketship Futuro is getting noticed. Every year, Innovate Public Schools publishes school data and reports to inform parents, educators, and decision makers how local schools are performing. We are proud to report that Rocketship Futuro Academy was featured on the 2020 Top Bay Area Public Schools for Underserved Students. Next slide, please. It is clear that we are eliminating the opportunity gap in Concord. Our mission at Futuro is to provide access to a high-quality education for all students, regardless of their zip code. And it's clear that in only 4 years, we're well on our way to achieving our mission. This graph shows just how closely socioeconomic status correlates with ELA and math achievement levels in the Mount Diablo elementary schools. But not at Futuro. That outlying purple dot shows very plainly that the students at Rocketship Futuro Academy are beating the odds. Next slide, please. Another way we measure the impact of our personal learning model is through NWEA math assessment growth. And our teachers analyze the outcomes of this assessment to help target instruction for each student. Our Rocketeers showed strong fall to winter growth over the past 4 years. This is a solid indicator of the future successes of our students. I'd like to particularly point out the 1920 winter results, which continued our trend of improving year over year. And even though CASP was canceled last spring, NWEA indicates that Futuro Rocketeers would have scored even higher in 2020. Next slide, please. Although we still have a long way to realize our full vision, we believe the progress we are making can be accelerated by formalizing our partnership with the Mount Diablo Unified School District. It is important to note here that by establishing an official district charter alliance, we are able to work more deeply principal to principal and share best practices for our collective success. Rocketship has seen this work in East San Jose at the Franklin McKinley School District for many years, and I hope to do the same here in Concord. By being authorized by our local district and not the State Board of Education, the potential to transform the most underserved neighborhoods and work together to close the opportunity gap is achievable. Next slide, please. We are so excited for our future learning and growing on our beautiful Glenbrook campus. On behalf of all the Rocketeers gathered in support of our school this evening, we respectfully ask you to reauthorize our school for 5 more years. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and we look forward to answering your questions about our school and working together to further educational equity in Concord.
Thank you. And now we're going to take the public comment on Rocketship till 7:40. So, and if we have any questions, we'll ask after we receive the public comment, if that's okay with everyone. Okay.
I am Brian and Flor Sotomayor's father. I am with Rocketship. We don't want the school closed. Apoyamos a Rocketship. Brian y Flor Sotomayor, parents. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Erlene Hubbard, and I have a student at Rocketship Futuro Academy in the 4th grade, and I want our school to stay open because it has proven to be a stellar school. Thank you. My name is Paula, and my son is in 3rd grade at Rocketship. A year and a half ago, he was diagnosed with ADHD. I was concerned, but Rocketship immediately did testing for my son with psychologists and developed an IEP. At Rocketship, I found lots of support for him, warm teachers and staff members who are ready to help him, open to listen and find best strategies to support my child. Since his diagnosis, we have all worked together to get my son reach his goals. With the teacher support, his regular IEP meetings, and the specialist who works with him individually in his classroom, I have noticed incredible progress in his behavior and academically. Rocketship has made me feel like part of a family. They let us volunteer so we can participate in our child's development, learn how the process works. This is very important to me because it allows me to be a part of the special education support my son needs. Please keep our Rocketship family together.
Good morning. My name is Anival Silva. I am father of Maximilian. He is a 3rd grade at Rocketship Futuro. Please don't close the school.
Please don't close my school. I like it.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maricela Esquivias. I'm a parent for the Rocketship 2 grade. I wanted my school to be open because the school is great. They have a lot of my boys. The boys have a special need and he's learning so much over there. Thank you so much.
My name is Donia Cameron, and I have a 4th grader attending Rocketship Futuro Academy. I want you to know that I want my school to stay open and their charter to be renewed because it is a fabulous school with a great curriculum, and my child is flourishing there. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Janine, and I have a 1st grader at Rocketship Futuro in Concord. This is our 1st year at Rocketship, and I chose Rocketship because my son developed anxiety at his previous school. I feel as if a lack of good parent-teacher partnerships cause an arduous learning and mental health environment. As a new parent, I was immediately impressed by the organization and avenues of communication that were set up to build strong collaborative relationships with families. Before school started, my family received a virtual home visit from his teacher. The teacher made my son and our family feel comfortable. This made my son feel special and an important part of school before classes even started. We are so happy to have found Rocketship because of the strong sense of community, emotional building, high parent involvement, and a challenging curriculum. It would be a disservice to Concord, the community of Concord, to shut down Rocketship because of the established parent-teacher partnerships, which positively correlates with a better academic achievement, especially during this unprecedented time. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Daniela Ortega. My daughter is a second grader at Rocketship Futuro Academy. And I want the school to stay open because I love the parent-teacher relationship. We are not just a school, we are a community. And I love how much the teachers care about the students, how much my child has progressed within the past 2 years being at Rocketship. And I would really, really hate to see the school close. Thank you so much for your time.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Arcelia Mercado, soy mamá de Alexia Jorge, que estudia en la escuela de Rocketship, y me gustaría que permaneciera abierta esta escuela porque tienen muy buen nivel de aprendizaje y me encantaría que la escuela permaneciera abierta. Muchas gracias.
Good morning. This is, I didn't get her name. She is a mother of Alexia and Jorge, and she has been benefiting from this school, and she would love for the school to remain open.
Hi, my name is Emma Ortega. I am in second grade at Rocketship Futuro Academy, and I want my school open because I love doing science projects and activities with my teachers, and I love learning, and I want my little sister to go to Rocketship too.
Hola, mi nombre es Juan Ávila y tengo mi hija en el 5º grado Rocketship. Ella se llama Heidi Ávila y me gustaría que la escuela siguiera abierta por otros 5 años. Mi experiencia con esa escuela es que ella ha aprendido mucho y le dan la atención de calidad que se merece. Gracias.
Hello, my name is Juan Avila, and I have a daughter in 5th grade. I really like the relationship that they have with my daughter. She's learning a lot, and I would love for the school to remain open for another 5 years.
Hola, soy Carmen, alumna de Rocketship. Pido al distrito que mi escuela quede abierta para que muchos niños continúen con la educación que brinda Rocketship. Adiós.
I am Carmen, and I am asking the school district to keep our school open because all the children learn from this school, and I would love to have the school keep open. And thank you and goodbye.
Hi, my name is Alfredo Opinion. I am a parent of a 3rd grader at Rocketship Futuro Academy, and I want my school to open because of the well-structured support for both students and parents that I get from them. Thank you. Good morning, my name is Juan Ortega. My daughter is in 2nd grade at Rocketship Futuro Academy, and I want the school to stay open because I'm very happy with my daughter's progress and the quality of education of Rocketship. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Monica Granados. I have a student, her name is Mia Granados. She's been going there for a year and a half. And then Hi, my name is Monica Granados. I'm sorry, I left the voicemail, but my voice was not good. Now I was calling because I have a student there. Her name is Mia Granados, and I would like for her school to stay open. We had a really good experience with her since she started. She had issues like being social, and it has helped her a lot. Like all the teachers and the staff that work there, they're really good. So please keep the school open. Thank you.
Hola, buenos días. Hablo para la renovación de Rocketship Academy.
Soy mamá de un estudiante de tercer grado, Daniel. Por favor, renueven la licencia, es la mejor opción de la zona. Nosotros queremos mucho esta escuela, por favor, no la cierren, gracias.
My name is Sarah, and I belong to I'm a part of this school. This school is very beneficial for us. Please, please do not close the school, our school.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Sanchez. I am parent of Kathleen Guzman in 5th grade at Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. And I want my school to stay open because that's the best school that can find it in long time for my kids. I live before in Oakland, and the only thing I can say, this is the best school. So please keep open for us students.
Hi there, my name is Samantha Turner and I am calling in support of Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. I very much hope that you will vote to approve Rocket Ship Futuro Academy as part of the Mount Diablo School District. They are a phenomenal school, working really hard to make sure that they serve the needs of all students in their community, and they deserve to be a part of the fantastic Mount Diablo School District. Thank you.
Hola, buenos días. Estoy hablando porque tengo mi hijo en la escuela de Rocket Ship. Me gustaría que nos permitieran que quedara abierta la escuela, porque yo he mirado mucha ayuda que le han brindado a mi hijo. Y es una escuela que nos ha ayudado demasiado y me gustaría que permanezca abierta. Muchas gracias y de todo corazón se lo agradecería.
Good morning. I have a son at this school, and we really seen a progress, the way he's growing, and I really appreciate it if the school remains open. I will thank you with all my heart that you keep this school open.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Sanchez. I am parent of Gael Guzman. She's in kindergarten at Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. And I want the school to stay open because it's a great school. They have a great teachers. And my son, he's so happy. He's so good in math and reading. I think for me and for my kids, it's the best school we can find it in Concord. I live before in Oakland, so I think I cannot make another decision about this school because it's good for my kids. Please keep it open, this school.
Hola, buenos días. Soy la mamá del Rocket Ship y quiero que la escuela que continúe porque es bueno para los niños y es muy bonito la escuela. Gracias.
Good morning. I am a mother of a Rocketeer, and I want this school to remain open because it's very good for all the children, and I want the school to keep to be open. Thank you.
My name is Rysel Davis. I am a parent of a kindergartner at Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. And I want my school to stay open because I see all the teachers and staff are dedicated into teaching, educating all their students. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Luis Galvez. I am one kid in Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. So I need to open this school because this school is good for the students and has good teachers. So I need to open continuum, please. Thank you. My daughter is in third grade. Thank you so much.
I am Yumile Gutierrez Soto, and I would like to support my school because I've been learning so much and I've been so happy and the teachers are so nice to me and I would like to support.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Verónica Alvarado. Yo soy mamá de un niño de 5º grado en Rocketship Futuro Academy. Mi llamada es para pedirles que dejen la escuela 5 años más abierta. Por favor, es muy importante para la educación de nuestros niños en esta comunidad. Yo quisiera que la dejaran 5 años más abierta porque quiero que los niños que están en los grados de 1º al 4º grado tengan la misma educación que ha recibido mi hija en estos 5 años que han pasado.
My name is Veronica and I have a daughter that comes to this school, and I'm asking for you to keep this school open for another additional 5 years. And the reason I want this is because for the children that are coming to this school from 1st grade to 4th grade, that they deserve the same education as the children, as previous children that go in there, and they deserve the same education. So I'm asking you to keep this school open so they can get the same education as everybody else.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Sandoval, and I'm a parent of a 3rd grader at Rocketship Futuro Academy. And I would like to keep the school open just because they have an amazing team and they help my daughter a lot. So please keep it open. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Karen Arcee, and I am a proud mother of 3 children that attend Rocketship, and I live in the Concord area. As representatives of students and families, I am asking you to please listen with open hearts to the parents and students of this community. We are all struggling with many different issues right now. And just trying to keep our families safe and food on the table. Like many parents, I was also afraid my 3 kids would fall behind in school, but knowing that our students are being served well academically has been the one thing we can count on right now, thanks to Rocketship. When the pandemic hit, Rocketship immediately transitioned our students to a distance model and worked hard to make sure we had what we needed to keep our kiddos learning. The program had its challenges at first, but the school consistently asked for feedback from families and made lots of improvements along the way. I am so thankful that Rocketship exists and it is determined to challenge my children to learn and grow, no matter what the world throws at us.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Ana, soy madre de Jocelyn, una estudiante del grado 1 de Rocketship Futuro Academy, y quiero que la escuela quede abierta porque ella ha aprendido bastante y se ha comunicado más con las personas y el aprendizaje que les dan a ella es el 100%. Ok, muchas gracias.
Hello, my name is Anna, and I have a daughter that comes to this school. And I would like for the school to remain open, to keep it open. The reason is because my daughter has learned a lot. And also I want you to know that she's learning and she's doing different things. And please keep the school open. Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es María Padilla. Me estoy llamando para apoyar la escuela Rocketship, donde va mi hija Victoria Infante, en 5º grado. Es una escuela muy buena, solo estoy llamando para apoyar la escuela y que se quede la escuela, porque a mi hija le encanta esa escuela de Rocketship. Gracias y buenos días.
Good morning, my name is Maria, and I'm calling. The reason of my call is because I want to support this program. I have a daughter that comes to this school and she really, really loves coming to this school, and I'm calling to support this program, and please continue with this, keep the school open. Thank you.
Hola, mi nombre es Susana Reyes y mi hijo va en 1er grado en Rocketship Futuro Academy. Solo hablaba para decir que quiero que la escuela se quede abierta porque es una gran escuela, enseñan muy bien, los maestros son excelentes y necesitamos muchas escuelas como esas. Gracias.
My name is Susana, and I'm calling to support the Rocketship School. This is a great, great school. My son has been learning a lot, and the teachers are great. and the community and the parents, and I'm just calling to support and ask you to continue keeping it open.
Hi, my name is Sila Alonso. I'm a Rocket Ship Futuro Academy parent. I assure you we will fight for school to stay open. I'm sure that it is so close. You don't know how the negative impact I will have in our community and the lives of many children, and their lives will never be the same. We are going to find another school like that, like this. No.
Hi, my name is Mara Blanco. I'm the mother of Joshua Pinto. He is one of the students of Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. I just wanted to let you guys know that my son is so happy at his school. He has been in different kinds of school, but this school is one of the schools that he loves because he loves his teachers, he loves his friends, he loves everything about the school. I love the way they have everything set up for the kids. Like, please do not close this school. It's just like a dream come true, and the best part is that it's free, and we love our school. Please, I just wanted to let you guys know that we are so happy with the school, and I hope that the school continues open.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Delia. Soy tía de una alumna del primer grado de la Escuela Rocket Ship Futuro Academia. Solo estaba hablando porque estoy viendo que esta niña está progresando, tiene un progreso muy notable en esa escuela que es muy buena. Y también ha mejorado mucho en su relación con otros niños. Creo que es bastante buena esa escuela. Muchas gracias.
Hello, my name is Delia, and I'm an aunt of a niece. She didn't say the name of her niece. And I've noticed that my niece has been learning a lot. Her social skills are improving, and this school is wonderful. And I want to ask that you keep this school open for her and for all the children that are learning and are receiving this the service. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maria Hernandez, and I am a parent of third grade at Rocket Ship Futuro Academy in Concord. And I just called because we want the school to remain open. Rocket Ship is really important for us because I helped my daughter to achieve so many goals in such a short time. We love our school, and please, we want our school to remain open. Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Imelda López. Mi niña asiste a la escuela Rocket Ship Futuro y me gustaría que siguiera abierta. Estoy muy contenta con los servicios de la escuela y me gustaría que siguiera disponible para mi hija. Hi, my name is Imelda Lopez. I have a granddaughter in Rocket Ship Futuro in Concord, California. I need to the school open. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
Hi, I'm calling actually my name is Nancy Juarez, and I'm calling in regards to my daughter's school, Rocket Ship Futuro Academy in Concord. I just wanted to say that this is one of the best schools so far. I have two older sons, and I have not seen such a growth of learning education with my other two kids. I've seen so much from my daughter get from this school. I just wanted to leave that comment and tell you that it's a wonderful school. Please support to keep the school open. It helps the kids tremendously. The teachers are great. They're on it for every little thing. They help the kids so much. So if you guys have any questions, if there's any way I could support the school, please give me a call at 925-300.
My name is Vanessa Ibanez. I'm the parent of Sofia Ibanez. She is a first grader at Rocket Ship Futuro Academy, and we would like her school to stay open because we have noticed the amount of growth that she's made with Futuro Academy and how much she loves the teachers and the students in the school, and we want her to continue growing academically and socially. Thank you.
Mi nombre es Laura López y soy mamá de dos niños de segundo y cuarto grado de la escuela Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. Y, quisiera que mi escuela se mantuviera abierta porque mis hijos tienen derecho a una educación de mucha calidad.
My name is Laura, and I have two children that go to this school, and I'm requesting for this school to to remain open. And the reason is because my children deserve education, quality education. So I'm asking you to keep it open.
Hola, mi nombre es Susana Mezco. Soy mamá de un estudiante de primer grado de Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. Y quiero mi escuela quedara abierta porque mi hijo Damián Mezco va muy contento a la escuela, le encantan sus maestros, son muy atentos con ellos, son muy unidos. Los maestros están muy al pendiente de ellos, de los papás, y nos encanta esa escuela. Está aprendiendo muchísimo en esa escuela. Muchísimas gracias.
My name is Susana, and I have a son that goes to this school, and we really love for our son to continue going to this school. The relationship with the teachers is awesome. They're very attentive to them. They're very honest, and they involve everybody. And my son is very, very happy that he's going to that school. So I'm asking you to keep it open. Thank you.
Sí, buenos días. Mi nombre es Claudia Velo y soy madre de Camila Torres Velo. Por favor, renovar Rocket Ship Futuro Academy porque es la escuela de mi niña por casi 5 años.
My name is Claudia, and I'm asking you to renew the contract for this school because it has been the school for my daughter, and I want her to continue coming to this school.
Hi, my name is Nancy, and I am sister of Marisol Torres. She's a first grader at Rocket Ship Futuro Academy, and we would like this school to stay open. The kids love this school. They love their teachers. They love their learning center. They just love this school. It's amazing. We would really appreciate if this school continues to stay open.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Norma Lanis. Yo tengo dos niños en Rocket Ship. El nombre de ellos es Matthew Alanis y Diego Pérez Alanis. Rocket Ship es una de las mejores escuelas que hay por aquí en el área. Durante los 20 años que tengo viviendo, para mí ha sido una buena experiencia, ya que otros hijos míos han ido en otras escuelas del distrito.
Okay, my name is Norma, and I have two boys going to this school, and I want this school to continue being open. In the last 20 years that I've been here, I've never seen any school like this one, and my children are, I think the conversation cut off in the middle of it.
Y para mí me ha hecho muy feliz y he estado satisfecha con el progreso educativo de mis hijos. Pues la escuela tiene muy buenos programas, tiene la atención de todos los maestros, la participación de nosotros los padres es muy importante para la escuela.
Debido a que no les ha podido dar un lugar, un espacio donde crear una escuela adecuada para los niños, nosotros los padres nos hemos adaptado para que ellos vayan.
In regards to myself, I'm very happy that my children are going there, and I never seen any school like this. And in regards to the program, we have adapted to this school, so it will be very hard for us to continue without it.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Yesenia de León y soy madre de Evelyn Huitrón, estudiante de Roca Chief Futuro. Nosotros como familia estamos felices y agradecidos por la enseñanza que le brindan a nuestros hijos. Por favor, les pido que nuestra escuela siga avanzando. Muchas gracias y les agradezco de todo corazón. Que tengan un feliz día y que Dios les bendiga. Muchas gracias.
Hello, my name is Yesenia, and we as a family will appreciate if you keep the school being open. It's a very, very good school for our family, and I will appreciate it if this continues on, this program continues on. Thank you for your attention and have a great day.
Buenos días, mi nombre es María. Soy madre de un estudiante de quinto grado en Rocketshire Futuro Academy y quiero que mi escuela quede abierta porque ha sido una buena lección para mí de que no solamente puede estar la escuela regular, sino que tenemos más opciones para poder hacer que nuestros hijos salgan adelante académicamente, y porque en los pocos años que he estado en esta escuela me ha demostrado que sí se puede, aunque los niños a veces no tengan una capacidad de entender mucho.
My name is Maria, and I am a mother of one child that goes to this school. And it's a very good thing that we have options, and knowing that it's not going just to a regular school, that's the only option that we have, but also knowing that we have other schools that we can send our children to.
Siempre y cuando el sistema sea bueno, los niños avanzan a un nivel mejor para ellos educacionalmente. Y pues me gustaría que se quedara abierta para que pueda seguir ayudando a otras familias como me ayudó a mí.
We understand that when the program is a good program, children will learn, and I would like to ask you to keep this program open so it can help other families the way it helped us.
Mi nombre es Gabriela Gutiérrez y soy residente de Concord. Por favor, quisiera pedir que renueven la escuela Rocketshire Futuro porque es una escuela de calidad donde asiste mi sobrino Damián a Mezcua y él asiste a la escuela. Se ha superado muchísimo y asiste a la escuela. Muy feliz todos los días por el ambiente que recibe, el ambiente que hay en esa escuela y la educación que recibe. Muchas gracias. Bye.
My name is Gabriela, and I will ask you to continue with this school, with this program open. I have a nephew that goes to this school, and he's very happy every day to go to school because the way they treat him, and he's advanced into his education, and I can tell that he's changing a lot, and he really, really likes going to school.
Hi, my name is Miriam, and I'm a parent of a third grader at Rocketshire Futuro Academy. The reason I'm calling is because we really like the school. We really want the school to stay open. The quality of education is like really good, and my daughter just loves it, just loves the school, and we have like a great experience. She started kindergarten there, so we're just really happy with that, and we hope that you help us to keep the school open. Thank you.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Mariana González. Soy abuelita de un estudiante de segundo grado en Rocketshire
Ship Futuro Academy, y quiero que esa escuela permanezca abierta porque es una excelente escuela. Ok, gracias. Bye.
My name is Mariana, and I'm a grandparent of a second grader, and I'm asking you to continue with this school to keep it open because it's a great school, and thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Isabel Carmona y estoy hablando para apoyar a la renovación de la escuela Rocket Ship. Por favor, déjenos seguir y que nuestros hijos sigan estudiando en esa escuela. Muchas gracias.
My name is Isabel, and I'm calling to support this program. Please renew the contract. So I'm calling to support, and because it's very beneficial for all my children. Thank you.
My name is Marjorie Padilla. I am a parent of a fourth grader and a second grader at Rocket Ship Futuro Academy here in Concord. And I want my schools to stay open because the school has made sure my kids receive only the best. Even with distance learning, my kids thrive. Thank you.
Hola, soy el papá de Yumalai. Apoyo a Rocket Ship para que siga abierto, y mi hija le gusta mucho ir ahí en la escuela, y porque los maestros son buenos maestros porque le llaman atención a los niños, y gracias.
Hi, I'm the father of, I think he's the Hamalike, and I'm letting you know, I want you to know that my daughter is very happy there, and I want you to know that I support for this school to continue open for her.
They shouldn't close the school because it's the best school in Contra Costa County. All the other schools don't have the opportunities that this school has.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Verónica Herrera y estoy hablando para apoyar a la escuela Rocket Ship Futuro Academy en Concord. También vivo yo aquí en Concord. Quiero decir que la escuela es muy buena, ha tenido muy buen resultado mi nieta, y ahora tengo a mi niño ahí que está en el kinder.
Hi, my name is Veronica, and I'm calling to support the program of this school. And we're very happy. I reside in Concord, and I can see my granddaughter that went there, and now I have a child in kindergarten, and I think there's more.
Hi, I am calling to just leave a message. My nephew Noah goes to Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. Futuro, I don't know how it's pronounced actually, and he totally loves it. And I wanted to encourage you to keep the school open so he can continue getting the excellence he is getting there. My name is Joanne Robb, R-O-B-B, and if you need to call me back, that's fine. My number is 510.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Ana. Soy madre, de un niño de 5º grado. Mi hijo va en la escuela Rocket Ship y a Futuro Academy. Y quiero que mi escuela quede abierta otros 5 años, por favor.
My name is Anna, and I have a son that goes to this school, and I'm asking you to keep this school open for another 5 years.
Alejandra Silva, and I have a kindergarten grader at Rocket Ship Futuro Academy, and I want my school to stay open because my daughter has learned so much in a amount of time.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Julissa Sánchez. Yo tengo una sobrina que se llama Daniela Galvez, que va a la escuela Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. Yo apoyo a que la escuela se mantenga abierta por la razón que para que los niños tengan una buena educación y puedan tener un buen futuro.
Hi, my name is Julissa, and I have a niece that goes to this school, and I'm calling to support this school so children can have better opportunities.
Hola, buenas tardes. Soy padre de familia de niños que estudian en el Rocket Ship. Yo apoyo la continuidad de la escuela porque es una escuela que se preocupa por los niños, tiene un plan de trabajo en relación con los niños. Es muy ordenado, son muy responsables, tiene mucha comunicación con los padres de familia y el niño está muy contento.
I'm calling to support this program. This school has a very good plan. They're very honest, very clear about what the plan is. All the children are very happy to come to this school. So I'm calling to support and asking you to continue with this school to be opened.
Hola, mi nombre es Karen Ramos, soy mamá de Ashley Jacobo y estoy llamando para la razón de que por favor renueven la escuela de Rocket Ship Futuro. Estoy muy contenta con esa escuela porque ha ayudado a mi niña a salir adelante con sus estudios y ha aprendido mucho de eso. Y por favor les pido que si nos hacen favor de renovar la escuela. Muchas gracias.
My name is Carmen, and I have a daughter that goes to this school, and this school has been very helpful for her. And I am asking you please to renew the contract so my daughter can continue going and receiving the education that she likes in this coming to this school. Thank you.
Calling to please keep Rocket Ship Futuro open in Concord. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Camila Alvarado Martinez. I am a sixth grader. I go to Rocket Ship Futuro Academy. I hope you guys can give us 5 more years of Rocket Ship. In Rocket Ship, we have succeeded, and my parents can see that I have improved in my learning. My grades have been growing up since I started going to Rocket Ship. Rocket Ship has helped me, and I see more Rocketeers get higher grades and be more successful for their futuro. Rocket Ship has been a great 5 years for me, but more children have loved going just to Rocket Ship so they can learn, because Rocket Ship is a environment where children want to learn.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Cirila Bracamontes. Estoy hablando porque tengo un alumno en la escuela Rocket Ship y me gustaría que la escuela siguiera abierta. Mi número es 925-768-3228.
Hi, my name is Cirila, and I'm calling to support the program. I have a son that goes to this school, and I want you to continue with the contract and keep the school open. And my number is, and she said her number.
Hi, my name is Anita Johnson. I am president of the Mount Diablo Education Association. I am calling on the school board to deny the renewal of the Rocket Ship Charter. This charter is having an adverse financial impact on our district and is denying those students the opportunity for the quality education that can be provided by our public schools. So please deny the renewal of the charter, Rocket Ship Charter application in item 12.1. Thank you. Bye.
Please deny the renewal of Rocket Ship. The district said no 5 years ago. We mean no now also. They don't need to be renewed. They are not helping children learn how to read, write, or learn math. Please deny Rocket Ship the renewal.
Hi, I'm calling to request that you deny the renewal of the Rocket Ship Charter. When they originally tried, I know the board said no, and the county board said no. So I'm just requesting that you continue to tell them no. As a teacher who's had children who were at Rocket Ship and having to fill in the holes left by the education and inadequate education there, I feel that it is not in the best interest of Mount Diablo students to have the charter they need. So please, once again, vote no. Thank you.
Hello, I am a constituent here in Mount Diablo, and I'm also a teacher. I am asking that you please vote down the Rocket Ship petition as you did before in a few years ago, because it was already voted down by Mount Diablo and also by the county. So I hope that you will continue that on. Thank you.
Good evening, board. My name is Julia Jameson. I'm a teacher at Mount Diablo High School, and I'm calling to encourage you to deny the renewal of Rocket Ship Charter's proposal this evening. 5 years ago, the MDUSD board did not authorize Rocket Ship Charter School, and Contra Costa County did not authorize Rocket Ship Charter School. Rocket Ship is no better for our community now than it was 5 years ago. Fortunately, you now have the opportunity to deny the charter to this school, which is taking precious students and dollars away from our district. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tess Nicosia, and I am a teacher at Pleasant Hill Elementary, and I am calling in tonight to ask that the board reject the renewal of the Rocket Ship Charter School that's within our school district community. 5 years ago, you voted it down. The county voted it down, and you both have agreed that it shouldn't be part of our school district. I would hope that you would vote it down again. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, my name is Jane Bolshenlo. I teach at Sequoia Middle School. I hear that the charter Rocket Ship is up for decision again this evening, and I would like you to kindly think about this. It was not okayed 5 years ago, and it should not be okayed today. It is not right for our community. It will take money away from students that need it. I highly recommend you vote no on the Rocket Ship Charter. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, members of the board, superintendent. My name is Kevin Taylor, and I'm a teacher at Northgate High School. I would urge the board to vote no on the renewal of the Rocket Ship Charter. The board voted no 5 years ago, as so did the county board 5 years ago. Nothing has changed in that Rocket Ship is not a good fit for our school community. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm calling to have you deny the renewal of Rocket Ship Charter School. 5 years ago, the district board voted it down, and so did the county. So nothing has changed in 5 years, and we do not need Rocket Ship Charter School in our district. So please deny the renewal tonight, and you will have some teachers that are very pleased with that. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Brenda Duenas, Bel Air Elementary School, Medea member. I'm calling to ask that you vote down the Rocket Ship Charter tonight. You did so 5 years ago, and nothing has changed. The county voted it down 5 years ago, and nothing has changed. It is not good for our community, and it can now no longer go to the state and get around you or the county voting it down. So I just ask that you deny the renewal of the Rocket Ship Charter.
Hello, I'm a community member, and I just wanted to speak out against the renewal of the Rocket Ship Charter.
I know that the district and, I know that the board denied it 5 years ago along with the county, and I am here just calling to say that you should continue to deny the renewal of the Rocketship Charter. It is not right for our community.
Hi, I was calling about the vote to renew the Rocketship renewal tonight. I would hope you would vote against it. The Rocketship was not seen as a good fit for our district 5 years ago when it was voted down by the board. It was also voted down by the county 5 years ago, and it had to go all the way to the state. People that had no idea about local issues to get approved. And so I hope, I don't think anything has changed, and I hope you guys will vote against the Rocketship renewal tonight. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Juarez, and I am commenting for public comment about the renewal of the Rocketship Charter. I hope that the board remembers 5 years ago, you guys denied Rocketship Charters ask to come into the district. The county also denied it. It was only when they went to the state that they were allowed to have this. Rocketship is still not right for our community. Our kids need to be with us in the district, and I really feel we're doing a disservice to them with Rocketship. And so I would ask that the board vote down the renewal of the Rocketship Charter. Thank you.
Hi, I'm calling to ask that the board deny renewal for Rocketship Charter. District denied it already. The county has denied it in the past, and nothing's changed. So I just want to leave that.
Hello, I'm calling. My name is Andrew Shenley. I'm a teacher in MDST, and I'm calling to say that I do not support the renewal of the Rocketship Charter. I think it was wrong for our district 5 years ago, and it still is.
Hi, my name is Julie Kennedy. I am a teacher in the district, and I'm calling you to ask that you deny the Rocketship renewal. You denied it once, and so did the county, and nothing has changed to make that decision go in a different direction. So I am please urging you to deny the Rocketship renewal. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Swanson, and I am a TK teacher at Silverwood Elementary School, and I'm requesting that you deny Rocketship from being able to have a charter at our schools. It's very important that we continue to support our local schools with the pandemic and with the fires and all of the needs we have. We really need to focus on really working on our schools and don't need the added addition stress of working with the charter school. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Laurel Burns. I'm a teacher in the school district, and I'm calling to urge you to not renew the charter for Rocketship. They were bad for our district years ago when they first approached us, and they're still bad for our district now. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm going to assume we're concluding. So does there, any of the board members have any questions that they want to ask at this time?
I just wanted to get some get clarification on our timeline. So I understood this was a public hearing.
Right. That's my next sentence, Joanne, was if we didn't have any questions, that would conclude tonight's public hearing on the rocket ship renewal request, and the board shall take action to grant or deny the renewal at the October 26, 2020 meeting. So if there isn't...
Mason, I did have a question, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
From the presentation, there was a mention of that parents sit on the governing board of Rocket Ship. Can you explain which parents from Concord are on that board, and how does someone watch those board meetings or give comment at those board meetings? Where are they located?
So we have actually two opportunities for parents to serve in advisory and governance at Rocket Ship. The first is the Regional Advisory Board, which has been in existence for a little over 3 years here in Concord. And that is half of our parents, 50% of parents serve on that board and 50% of community members. And the presidents of school site councils that are elected come onto that board as well. So that meeting, that advisory board meets every other month. And advises the direct strategic growth and decisions at a Concord and in the regional neighborhood area. We have 2 parents that sit on the national board. This is something that we're very proud to announce, something that's newer for Rocket Ship. So the first board meeting of 2020, our national board voted after a long process of recruitment and interviews of parents. It was an open, transparent process. We were able to seat 2 parents from the San Jose area, and we're hopeful to open up 1 or 2 other seats in this next annual meeting at the beginning of 2021, where we will be promoting heavily parents from Contra Costa to serve on that board.
So the actual governing, so the first board you talked about was an advisory board, not the actual governing board.
That's
the
correct.
Second is the governing board, of which there are 2 parents, but they're from San Jose. Is that correct?
Yes, but I will add that we have an open door policy where our parents, if they have any issues, any questions at all, have direct access, not only to our teachers, but to our principal and assistant principal, as well as myself. I live here in Concord and frequently do one-on-one meetings with parents to help clarify concerns, questions, issues. So it is rare that we have issues that go all the way to the national board, but because we believe in the voice of parents and their participation in governance, we were very excited to open up those seats on our national board and be able to include our parents at the table. So this is something that we're easing into, and I'm excited that we'll be able to have Contra Costa representation as early as January 2021, if the national board then approves that.
Okay, just looking on the website, I couldn't find how to watch those national governing board meetings or find out what decisions are being made at the governing level. So it's just a question that's out there.
So we do follow all the the new regulations around public board meetings. And so all of our, well, now in distance learning, it's a little bit different, but all of our board meeting agendas are posted at each of our school sites, including at our Concord site in a visible area, as well as links to the board meeting minutes and agendas for our parents to access as well. And we routinely staff each of the board meetings with bilingual team members to help parents access also the information. And so we have live video conferencing, much like what we do now here in the COVID environment, at each one of our schools to be compliant.
Thank you.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I thought you were finished. Oh. Okay. So I was just trying to clarify our process. And so, I wasn't thinking we were asking questions tonight. I guess it sounds like maybe there's not another opportunity as a board other than the night that we would be deciding on this. Is that correct?
Well, I think the questions tonight would be if we have any questions about their presentation, since they're here and they can answer them for us.
Okay. Well, I don't know that I will, I do have questions about 3 slides, mostly on the data. So I think it's slide 15, 16, and 17. And so at the bottom it says, calculated by Rocketship Public Schools from grade level data in research files downloaded from the CAS website. So these are kind of your own rendition of data pulling from that site. Is that correct? Because I was trying to line it up with, you know, going to that site, and I don't know that the site itself provides the data exactly in this, with these variables. Is that correct? Or do you know? You might not know.
Data is pulled directly from the public access website as cited on the slide, and it is correlated in a way that is easily to digest the data. All the gray bars represent Mount Diablo Elementary Schools, with the average represented with the orange bar at about 30% for ELA and then 23% for math.
Okay, so let me just ask one more specific question. So on the slide, the variable first one with all the bars, I think you're talking about, it says percent, it's CAS, but percent met or exceeded standards. It says socioeconomically disadvantaged students, ELA grades 3 through 5. So this was, I know that you've showed a previous slide, the percentage of students that are socioeconomically disadvantaged, but this would presume this is, you know, that subset of student, even though I realize it's a large percentage of students, just that subset, and how they performed on ELA, and presuming that that same kind of filter was used for all the other, you know, and it's the total of Mount Diablo Unified School District elementary schools. So is that, you know what I'm saying? Because when I went, I mean, I did it kind of fast, so maybe I just didn't figure it out quickly enough, but it takes a little work to break it down that way. And so that's what it's not all your students. This is not reflecting necessarily all your students or all the students of Rocketship, Futuro Academy, who are so, yeah, for their ELA grades 3 through 5. Because I'm not even sure the site breaks it down grades 3 through 5, but that's of course when the tests are given. So
this is all public available data, and yes, you're correct that it does take some work to compile it in this way. And I'm glad you visited the website, because you can see that this is verifiable data through that website, but it does take some work to extrapolate from each school, the different grades, and present the percentages. We would be happy to provide some raw data for you as well if that is something that would be helpful for these slides.
Okay, I'll spend more time on it, but I think, thank you.
Linda, did you have any questions?
I had some questions, but they were a little bit beyond the PowerPoint, but it does involve material that was presented in the document. Is that in order?
Good question. I don't know if we'll be discussing. Is John Ye with us? There he is.
Yes, good evening. John Ye from Burke Williamson Sorensen, counsel to the board. So there will be another opportunity on October 26th to ask questions about the petition. By then, consistent with the new law, district staff will have posted its analysis of the petition 2 weeks prior to that. So all board members will have had the benefit of that analysis. So you certainly may ask that question tonight of the petitioners, but you need not feel compelled to, because you will have another opportunity as well during the determination meeting in October.
Thank you.
So I would like to still ask my questions, so I make sure that they're in the report from staff. I noticed in the years 22 to beginning with the years 22 to 23 in the financial reports that there's a major income increase as well as a major salary increase for all staff members at a minimum of $2,500. And I'm wondering what is the source of those funds in the year, beginning in the year 2022 and 23, because I did not see any parallel enrollment growth at the same time. I don't, you know, I haven't heard predictions that we're going to receive a major increase in school funding from the state of California yet in 22-23. I also was wondering how many students are currently residing in the Mount Diablo School District and how many students are enrolled from outside of our district boundaries. And then my question was, during the period when the State Board of Education had oversight responsibilities, I would like to know what the positive reports were, as well as corrective requirements there were presented to Rocketship.
Okay, so I gathered 3 questions, Trustee Mayo, is that correct? The first one, were you referring to page 5 in the appendix 1? Just want to make sure I have the right chart.
Probably. I don't have it right in front of me. I just wrote my question down. Okay. It's where you show the salary increases, and then a couple of slides later, there's also an increase to the income from the state.
Okay. So I don't want to misspeak, because we do have several tables in Appendix 1, and I want to make sure that we're answering the correct question. With your permission, I'd like to take this down and bring to you either a written response before our decision hearing, or bring our financial director with us to help describe some of these tables. But we do have several tables in Appendix 1, so I just don't want to misspeak.
All right, I do have the binder nearby, but that's great.
So I can say one of them is on page 2 of the 15 pages, page 2, because I had the same question, and it's a table in the middle that's showing 22-23, the revenue going up substantially. And that's in thousands of dollars, so just for the public. We're not just talking about $2,000 increase.
Okay, so just to reiterate, we're looking at Table B, Summary of Projected Revenues.
Right.
21-22 to 2022-23 on page 2, is that correct?
Yes. So I know that's one of them. And Ms. Mayo referenced another one before that. But yes, that's one where she's talking about the revenue, showing a substantial increase in revenue starting in the year 2022 and 2023.
Correct.
And then the second one was salaries.
Correct. And that is shown on it's on page 8 of 15 in table H.
So with your permission, I would love to take those questions back to our financial team that is not available here today to answer those questions, and we can return the responses in writing prior to the next hearing.
Thank you.
The second part of your question was around current enrollment numbers of students in the Mount Diablo district. So with COVID, we are taking attendance differently than we have in previous years. But I have been able to extrapolate from PowerSchool a full listing of all of our students that are enrolled. I would like to give those numbers in another week or two just to make sure that we finalize the enrollment of our students. But I will say the vast majority has always been and continues to be Mount Diablo students, both from the Monument Corridor and also from the Bay Point area. And so what I've been able to do and what I'd like to present to you before our decision hearing is the exact numbers of students that enrolled at Futuro that would otherwise attend a Mount Diablo school, so that you have those numbers. But I can say the majority is Mount Diablo students.
Okay.
And Ms. Gill, if you could send any of that information to Dr. Clark, and then he'll disseminate it to all of us, then you don't have to do all of us.
Thank you.
I'll also jump in here really quick. This is Ms. Brown, the principal. This funding projection around revenues was based on the anticipated decline in funds from the state due to COVID-19. And we're hoping that within 2 years, there'll be a shift and we'll be able to increase that back up. There's some more information in the written narrative here, and we're happy to explain further if you have more questions.
So, I mean, are you saying it's based on hope as opposed to You know,
I mean,
we can't, we're not allowed to budget on hope. You know, we have to have facts.
So each year, if I look at from this year to next year, it's about a 500 projection increase, and it goes up to about like 900 after that, and then remains pretty steady. So we're anticipating, if that doesn't happen, we are budgeting accordingly, but following the projected.
So related question, I think, is the ADA projections that you have. You're expecting an increase in enrollment between 2021 and 21-22, and then staying level after that. I know one of the things that Rocketship is known for nationwide is growth. So I'm wondering if you are planning on capping out at those numbers permanently, or you know, if you're committed to that, or if you see a growth plan in this school's future.
So, so I would say that between 2007 2018, we were very fortunate to open 13 schools in California and serve as many Rocketeers, not only in the South Bay, San Jose, but here in Contra Costa, with Futuro being the first school here in Contra Costa. We do stand by the numbers in our petition. We do not anticipate growing more than around 660, 675 students at full enrollment. And so our ADA projections, our enrollment projections, take into account a very small attrition of students that perhaps would move out of the area, and keeps in mind that students stay with us from typically TK through 5th grade. So to answer your question, yes, we are committed to having an enrollment maximum that is outlined within the charter petition.
Okay.
I did have one more question on the presentation. You showed the middle school fair with Mount Diablo Middle Schools all there. How many of your students attend 6th grade at a Mount Diablo district school versus other schools? And do you hold other middle school fairs with other schools?
So this was our first one. And, you know, I learned a lot in this. And I worked with former Superintendent Espinoza to put the middle school fair together. And the idea or the goal of the fair was to help our district principals, introduce them to our Futuro principals and also our families, so they could see that we are part of a larger ecosystem. Rocketship is not interested in opening middle school charters in Mount Diablo or anywhere, but we do want to make sure that our kids have a healthy bridge going back into either middle schools or whatever environment that they choose. So this was a wonderful process where our families essentially had a passport that they went from table to table to meet with the principals and engage with them. And we made it very clear that Mount Diablo schools, it doesn't work like a charter school, it's not a lottery, but we wanted to match them up with their home school. So the first place that their passport sent them was to their home school so that they can build a relationship with their principal. And then what we did is we followed up to make sure that if there was cum file needs or any type of accommodations, we could help with that. The hard part here was COVID. No one planned for COVID. And so that was definitely one of the obstacles that we found. So in the data that I'm looking to collect in terms of our very first group of Rocketeers that graduated, because this was our very first group, is where are they, how are they doing, and do they have any stories to share with us? So we're hoping to bring that to you to the next hearing so that you can hear directly from them how things are going for them.
Thank you. I think that's all the questions.
I had one quick comment on the first question, if that's okay. I just did a little bit of digging. And around the data piece that we pulled on those 2 slides, we did adjust the data that was provided from the public to align to our mission. And our mission is to make sure that we're serving our most vulnerable students. And so that data did represent only 80% of our students. However, that is the vast majority of our students, as they are identified as socioeconomically disadvantaged. And we know, similar to other district schools, that our white and middle class students generally do better than our disadvantaged students. So we really want to zoom in and make sure that we're making progress aligned to our mission.
Thank you. And I think she's already left us, but I was going to thank Ms. Mercado for her translation. That was very nice. And I think that concludes this item of the agenda. Thank you so much. Takes us to board reports. Ms. Mayo, do you want to start us off? Thank you to all the staff from Futuro for joining us tonight.
And thank you, Trustee Mason and members of the board. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Clark, Dr. Gilley, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Gonzalez in helping us to get to this point, and Mr. Janye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you, Mrs. Mason. Mrs. Durkee and I had the privilege to join the Community Advisory Committee meeting on Tuesday, September 1st. The virtual meeting offerings have increased attendance at the Community Advisory, and more than 45 attended this last meeting, many attending for their first time, and they offered questions and comments to the meeting, as well as staff reports were presented. And I want to compliment the CAC leadership for their efforts to increase participation. And perhaps the one thing with COVID is that sometimes the virtual meeting provides opportunities for special ed parents to be involved in meetings when they don't have to leave their children at home with a caregiver. Mrs. Cound joined the Mount Diablo Council of PTA's meeting on September 2nd. Dr. Clark was introduced and made some comments which were well received. The meeting focused primarily on business action items related to the fiscal year end, which is June 30th, 2020 for PTAs, and the adoption of audits, the adoption of the 2021 budget and calendar for the year for the Council PTA. Council PTA is hopeful that students will participate in the National PTA Cultural Arts Reflections program again this year. We had 2 entries that went to the state level, and we were very excited when their presentations were displayed and what do I want to say, shown online during the annual convention meeting. And I would like to share with the audience and everyone listening that the Contra Costa County Library and Diablo Valley League of Women Voters will be hosting 2 candidate forums on September 29th, one at 5:45 and one at 6:45 p.m. The first one is for Area 3 with 3 candidates, and the second one will be for Area 5 with 2 candidates. Registration for the Zoom security purposes is required, but it is free and very simple. So I encourage you to register for these forums to understand the issues that are being asked by our community members, because there will be an opportunity to provide questions to the candidates, which will be sorted by the League of Women Voters and presented to the candidates to answer. To register, you can type in to your browser Contra Costa County Library Forums or candidate forums, and then scroll down to the 2 MDUSD listings. And I hope that you will share this in our community. And I do know that the League of Women Voters is looking for volunteers to help with these candidate forums. And I hope to be able to volunteer with one not related to the Mount Diablo School District, but perhaps for another election or another forum for another agency, so that we help one another in making sure that people are informed voters and that they do vote this November. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Durkee?
Thank you. I'm going to be very, very brief. You know, I want to mention also that just echo Ms. Mayo's comments about the CAC. They're really wonderful meetings, and it's great to see the great turnout. And I have to say, we take turns doing a report. It's a standing item on the agenda from the board, and Ms. Mayo did the report on the first, and she did just a fantastic. I was like thinking about it, I didn't know whose turn it was, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. Anyway, she did an excellent job, so I want to thank her for that. She's always very thorough, but very appropriate topics. So, and I think I just want to, as always, I've already did my little speech about the suicide prevention was the other thing was really on my mind tonight. But also just again to thank our staff, our superintendent, our cabinet, teachers, just everybody, call our classified support staff, everybody, because this is such a unique time, of course. I know we can't say that enough. And also want to thank the parents. It's, our second round of doing this distance learning, and it feels like there's some major improvements, but I know it's still very, very challenging, and just is going to take all of our patience and kindness and keeping things in perspective, whatever, but also looking out for one another. I think as the strain, as days go by, and now with the smoke and the fires and all that, it's just, what else is coming. So, so it's just, I know being in the house all day long with a 22-month-old, the stress that I feel sometimes, and I can't get them out of the house. So, and that's so minor, compared to what I know some families are dealing with, and problems emerge under the stress and strain. So I just want to send out my good heart feelings to everybody, and thankfulness for perseverance that we're all exhibiting, and hope that people who need help will know to reach out for help. So thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Cound?
All right, thank you. Let's see, a couple of things. I do want to say also thank you to Trustee Mayo for all of your work on the Mount Diablo PTSA Council. It's incredible the leadership that you bring to the table and have consistently to help PTAs throughout our region not only get started, but continue to stay strong and to manage things like COVID right now as well. So your leadership and the dedication of the volunteers who lead our regional PTA, as well as all of our parent volunteers throughout our schools. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to give a thank you shout out to Yours Humanly as well. Ms. Mason and I got to attend their delivery of, I don't know how many tons that was. It was a lot of arts materials to our Magnet Arts School, which, that really makes such a difference. It gets us to the place where we really can have a public school that is a Magnet Arts School to the fullest degree. So that was really exciting. I also was able to attend something that's new starting in Clayton. This is actually the third one that they've had. It's called Clayton Speaks. And it's been virtual meetings to talk about race in the city of Clayton. And this last one on September 2nd actually featured high school students from Northgate and from Clayton High to talk about their experiences of racism in our schools. And Northgate students were there and representing, and I think it's a great thing for all of us to listen to understand what their perspectives are and their experiences. And it's exciting to see students making sure that their voices are heard and their ideas for solutions are out there. And then I'm very excited about all the civic engagement opportunities right now. So happy High School Voter Education Weeks, everybody. It started today for the next 2 weeks. The state designated this as High School Voter Education Weeks, encouraging all schools to designate students as voter outreach coordinators to lead the efforts to pre-register and register their peers. So students, you can visit registertovote.ca.gov. And then there's also the Secretary of State has a high school and youth initiatives webpage as well at sos.ca.gov. There's a really long, /elections/high school programs. Anyway, but it's great because it talks not only about the voter registration, but also a student mock election, student poll worker program, and the high school voter education weeks. So a lot of ways for students to really fulfill their role in our democracy. And then along with that, I was excited to see the State Board of Education approved the criteria for California students to earn a new seal of civic engagement, an incentive aimed at encouraging active and ongoing citizenship. So the board president said, the future of our democracy depends on a knowledgeable and active engaged citizenry. With this new seal, we hope to prepare all students with an empathetic concern for others, a deep understanding of democracy, and the civic engagement skills needed to contribute to the welfare of their local communities, the state, and the country. And you know, now is a great time for everyone to be exercising their civic duties. So that was really exciting to see. A few other things that I'm grateful for. I was happy to see Governor Newsom endorsed Prop 15, Schools and Communities First, saying that it exempts small businesses and residential property owners and funds essential services such as public schools. Yes, it does. And we know that it's estimated to bring in an additional $18 million per year just to our school district. And then around Hispanic History Month, which we had the resolution on tonight to recognize, we're also seeing so many fantastic things that our teachers are already doing in our classrooms to get ready for it. You'll see Holbrook posted a fantastic Bitmoji classroom that had an entire theme with all sorts of resources that you can click on and experience. And then Teaching Tolerance also has an excellent resource for teachers about how to bring Latinx voices into the classroom and uplift the diverse range of Hispanic and Latinx identities, cultures, and histories. So some great things out there. So lastly, just a bit of encouragement for people to keep getting involved. Want to encourage all of our high school seniors to consider applying for our student board position. Applications are due really soon, September 18th, and that includes a letter of recommendation, so get started tonight. And then parents, just be aware that there are always these ongoing meetings that committee meetings that you're welcome to attend. So if you go to mdusd.org, the parents and community, and click get involved, you'll always see the information like the CAC meeting that was talked about already. This Thursday, the 17th, we have the Parent Advisory Committee, the District English Learner Advisory Committee, and also meetings for Measure J and Measure C oversight bond committees as well. So. And then upcoming very soon, also parents and community, keep a lookout for a public hearing on our learning continuity attendance plan. We'll be looking for public input, so take a look at that. And then lastly, you all know that I love math. I was really excited to see this. If you go to equitablemath.org, they have a new report out, and it's called A Pathway to Equitable Math Instruction, and it's resources and guidance to support Black, Latinx, and multilingual students to thrive in grades 6 through 8. So, thank you.
Thank you. I'll be brief. I was able to attend at least part of the CAC meeting. I usually can't because I have a MAC meeting that night, but our MAC is meeting earlier in the day, so that was good. I was able to pop in on that meeting. I attended the equity meeting, and I think Ms. Cound, you were on that one as well. And that was a good conversation, as it always is. It's very relevant in the time we're in right now. I went out and visited each of the principals in the Bay Point schools and the Pittsburgh school up on the hill, Delta View, and just wanted to check in with them, let them know that, you know, we're here to support them, see how things were going. Actually, they all were amazingly calm and collected and feel like they're getting into a routine now, and shout out to their staffs because I know they wouldn't feel that way if their staffs weren't feeling the same way. So that was nice just to touch base with people face to face for a little bit. And that's about it for me. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Clark for his report.
Great, thank you. And I do have a PowerPoint. If I could get tech to pull that up, perfect. So I just have just a brief report tonight, just to touch on just a couple things that are going on in the district. Can I please have the next slide? So first of all, I just really want to acknowledge the poor air quality that has been out there, and today marks our 28th day under Spare the Air alert. So again, just want to acknowledge that and you know, thank goodness that our you know, we don't have thousands of kids outside playing at lunch. And so, so hopefully they're sheltering in place and being safe from the air. So just wanted to acknowledge that. Thank you. Next slide. I wanted to talk a little bit about our reopening plan. So within our reopening plan, as this board remembers, we had everything from 100% distance learning all the way into full student return and several steps in between. And so because we are doing full distance learning, I just wanted to just give a brief update on the first month. Next slide, please. Within our reopening plan, we had the following 6 sections about registration, enrollment and attendance, schedules and routines, devices and connectivity, standards, curriculum and instruction, social emotional supports, and also assessment and grading. We had definitely heard from our families and students about what took place in the spring, and I know that we were all just trying to figure things out at that point, and no one really knew where this pandemic was going. And so we did the best we could. However, as we have moved into the fall, I believe that we were much better prepared to deal with some of the challenges that we were facing. Next slide. So first of all, we continue to talk about attendance and what it really means. And so from the state, this is sort of requirements coming from the state. And so these are requirements that as a district, we have to follow, and we have to ensure that staff are following these same requirements. So of course, there's the required number of instructional days. I shared during previous superintendent's report about the different ways that teachers can document daily participation for each student. So again, whether a student sending an email, turning in an assignment, being present in a Zoom call, those are all daily participation efforts which we document. Something new that we just had to work with our teaching staff on a couple of weeks ago is starting September 1st, all teachers and school districts are required to submit a weekly engagement record. And so that is every week teachers have to document the types of assignments and activities that they are presenting for students, and they have to keep this in a form of a record. And then the last thing is clearly we have to document absences. And then every district is required to find ways to re-engage students who are not participating and who are absent. So all of these things we are working with in partnerships with our teachers and also administrators and support staff. Next slide, please. So this is just an example. This is just one of many examples of schedules and routines. This was one of our high schools. This is actually College Park High School, and they held a back to school night, back on September 3rd. And at these back to school nights, all the teachers and staff were sharing with parents exactly what their schedules are, what are their routines, what are the requirements of the classes, and things of that nature. And so, many of our schools held these virtual back to school nights, but this is again just one example of documented schedules and routines that are happening for our students and staff. Next slide, please. And then again, when we talk about connectivity, whenever you have a school district of 29, 30,000 students all going digital, and the families as well going digital, whether they're using district issued Chromebooks or whether you're using hotspots, we want to ensure that as many students, if not all students, can connect through Wi-Fi. And just the picture we have on the left is those are students actually going to talk to their vice principal about getting support with their devices or with their Wi-Fi connections. And so again, I mean, I think it's a very powerful picture of these students advocating for themselves and basically, you know, going down to the school and getting the support that they need. We've had, you know, hundreds of these types of interactions throughout our district of individuals getting that support. And then again, the picture on the right is just, you know, it's taken from one of our elementary websites where there's, you know, support for families, you know, to contact their teachers, support for students, again, to contact their teachers and to get support. Next slide. And then just again, as we're talking about connectivity, this is the administrators from Mount Diablo High School, and they're out in Bay Point, really being a resource for families and helping families make sure that you know, that they're able to connect and able to get the support that they need, you know, to be able to participate fully in distance learning. Next slide. So then as we talk about standards and instruction, this is just, again, you know, I could have pulled this from any school site, just randomly pulled it from this particular school, but this is a middle school in our district. This is a particular grade level. I believe this is 7th grade. And it just really shows for each subject area, the teacher has his or her website on there and his or her Google Classroom and assignments, standards, activities, or whatnot. But this is what, you know, students or parents would see when they would go onto the website and, you know, and basically, you know, go to look at what their students' academics may be. So standards and instructions are included, you know, on all of these different sites, but it really does walk you, you know, walk you through, you know, these are where your electives are. This is English, this is history, science, special education, and so on and so on, and also just support services. So many of our schools have similar systems, you know, that are fairly easy to navigate and are accessible to all students and families. Next slide, please. Again, social emotional support was another, you know, was another aspect, and this is an example of over at Ignacio Valley High School, some of the things that they're doing. They have a mindfulness club. There's also this Dare to Read club, where again it's helping young people just really deal with some of the social emotional challenges that they're facing. Social emotional support is happening throughout our district. We have staff members who are, you know, reaching out to students and families to support them, whether it's our psychologists or resource specialists, counselors. You know, teachers are doing a lot of this. Office managers are doing a great deal of this, and again, this is just one example of how we are attempting to support our students and families through this very trying time. Of course, we don't have all the answers for all the stresses and anxiety that individuals are feeling out there, but there is great effort happening throughout the district that we continue to work on and we continue to work to improve. Next slide, please. As we look at assessment and grading, this is an internal document around, you know, for our elementary TK to 5 teachers and administrators. But again, this is our assessment calendar for the 2020-2021 school year. And again, it just goes down the list and gives you a timeline of when you know, different benchmarks are due. You know, as you can see, we are quickly coming up on October conferences. October conferences start in the next month or so, but before that, you know, grades have to be assigned, and you know, progress reports, things to that nature. So, you know, so there is work that is taking place. You know, I really want to commend our CNI department and everyone who works within that department. But you know, we have the systems, we have the accountabilities, we have the support that's in place to again follow, you know, our standards, you know, that are aligned to our assessments, and so that we can accurately assign feedback in the way of grades to our students and families. Next slide, please. I also wanted to just touch upon as we discuss reopening, you know, and again, just how fluid this pandemic has been. When we started school in you know, on August 17th, there was the county watch list, and there were a very specific set of you know, of metrics that were, you know, that were shared and that we were all following, and that we you know, that we were monitoring, and then the whole system changed on us. And so again, this is our current county watch list. We are at you know, we are at widespread, so we are in the purple right now, and so we still need to move down this watch list before we can you know, before we can really start digging into you know, what reopening would look like, what would a hybrid model look like, you know, what would be some of the safety measures that would have to be in place before that would happen. But before any of that could happen, we, you know, we need to improve on the county watch list. Next slide, please. So I just kind of want to give a visual of where we are. You know, you can see the first day of distance learning was August 17th. And, you know, this is our annual academic calendar. And you can see where we are on the 14th. So we've had 19 days of school. We've just completed our 19th day. So we have not been in school that long. And so, but time is going quick, right? And so it's going to be, you know, right around the corner, you know, as we move into October. But I just wanted to be able to provide a visual of the 180 or so days of school that our students are going to be attending. You see where we in school is over in June. So we still have quite a ways for, you know, again, for the watch list to improve, for, you know, testing and, you know, and social distancing and face covering and, you know, the hand washing to really help our county, you know, really improve on our outcomes as we, you know, as we continue to battle the virus. And so just, again, wanted to share this calendar out. Next slide, please. So there is an option for waivers. And so you know, I've been, you know, contacted several times by individuals who, you know, are bringing it to our attention that there are waivers available, and, you know, waivers are out there. And so this is taken right from the, you know, county website. But again, you know, it's 3 pages or whatnot, so I'm not gonna read it all. But essentially, we are still in the purple, so that's the highest level. So we are not permitted to reopen for in-person instruction unless we apply for a waiver from our local health department. However, if it's not you know, available to all of our students, you know, at least all of our general education students, we know we have some students in some special populations, but basically this is saying that we aren't permitted to reopen for in-person instruction. And then it kind of takes us through the waiver process. So we will be able to start to have more serious discussions about reopening and, you know, and start to really access our reopening plan under the hybrid model. You know, once we get into the red tier, once we get into the red, which is, you know, the substantial tier, for at least 2 weeks. And then along with that, we still have to follow the state guidelines, you know, about when we reopen and what will be the, you know, what will be the causes for us to then close again if need be. Next slide. So again, this just sort of, so as superintendent, I do have the, you know, I do have the power to apply for a waiver with the local health officer to open an elementary school for in-person instruction, and it's applicable for students in TK through 6th grade. Next slide. So again, I would, we would put together a waiver application, we would submit it, and then it would, the LHO would review the application along with our reopening plan, along with the data within the county, and make a determination whether or not to grant or deny the waiver. There have been schools in Contra Costa County who have applied for and have been granted a waiver. However, those are all private schools. There are not any as of today, and as of the last time I confirmed this, there are not any districts within Contra Costa County, regular schools, not private schools, that have applied and been granted a waiver and have opened to in-person instruction. So with that said, next slide. No schools within the Mount Diablo Unified School District has applied for a waiver, and we do not have any immediate plans to apply for a waiver at this point. So again, as this as the watch list continues to improve and things are getting better, I want to commend our staff, because even in the short time that I've been here, I've just seen just such sort of an embracing of wearing a mask, social distancing, using hand sanitizer, washing your hands, and just really practicing these these safe protocols to keep everyone safe and to continue to improve our situation. So I just wanted to just provide that very brief snapshot of sort of where we are, this first month of school. I want to acknowledge the tremendous work that has taken place. Number one, and most importantly, by our students. Our students are making the very best of this. I do fully understand that we do have students who who are struggling, who this isn't for them. It's difficult to learn in a distance learning environment. I want to acknowledge that, but I also want to recognize the resiliency of our students. We do have students who are being successful in this model, but if we had it, if we could wave a magic wand or something, we would definitely have our students back on campus and working hard. I also want to acknowledge just our support staff. I cannot tell you, all the way from our cafeteria staff to our office managers, to custodial staffs. I mean, I could go on and on about the support staff that's really out there working hard, supporting our students. And then of course our teachers are working hard. There's lots of teachers on campuses, utilizing their classrooms, delivering instructions. We have teachers at home who are doing that, and just want to acknowledge them, as well as our administrators and district staff. So that concludes my report. If there's any questions from any of the trustees, I'd be more than happy to entertain any of your questions. 19th day of school, we can check it off the list, and on to number 20, and just 160 more to go. So we're excited to continue to move forward, but know that there's still great hurdles to overcome.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Any board members have questions? Do you have a question, Ms. Mayo? Nope. Okay. I just saw you weren't muted, so I thought maybe you were ready to go. Okay. No questions. So that takes us to item 15.0 on our agenda, which is the consent agenda. Items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be approved or adopted in a single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. However, any item may be removed from the consent agenda upon the request of any member of the board and acted upon separately. Does anyone wish to pull anything from the consent agenda?
I just have one, item 1515, please.
1515, any others?
And I'd like to pull 1514.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. I'll entertain a motion for the rest of the consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I would move that the board adopt the consent agenda with the exception of 1514 and 1515.
Thank you, Trustee Mayo. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee Durkee. Trustee Mayo, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Durkee, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Cound, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Mason votes yes, passes 401. Very good. So that will go to you, Dr. Clark, for 1514.
Yeah, so again, we have on here review and potential approval of request to increase and decrease full-time equivalent FTE of classified personnel, and again, I just there's a great deal of work that goes into producing this document, and I wanted to turn it over to Dr. Rubio, our chief HR, and let him sort of talk about the necessity of either continuing with this practice or moving to something else. So Dr. Rubio.
I appreciate that very much. Board members, good evening, everyone. I just, now that I'm in, had a little time to better examine some of our internal processes and practices, what I'm realizing is happening is that we're having quite a bit of difficulty internally because the board is seeing every minute change in FTE, which I can appreciate is very informative. It is locking down some of our processes. We have people who you had previously laid off based on board action, who now will be waiting or have waited almost a month to move into an empty position because the FTE doesn't perfectly match. And then that FTE change is on here tonight. That has to be approved. So some of these are not really true increases or decreases. They are sometimes account changes, such as for the most part with the nurses on this one tonight. Sometimes I see that internally we're creating or eliminating positions such as the campus supervisors, where in fact the principal or the school site is just simply splitting the position into two halves. So some of this is not perfectly accurate. And what I'd like to recommend is that we only really bring true increases to you or true decreases, and that we bring those to you as an informational item. And that still gives you the information and allows you to question us and to give us different direction going forward, or to backtrack and change something, which is fine, I think, if we have to. So I just would like, I'm just, of course, on the lookout as best as I can as the HR person for how can I improve the systems between fiscal and HR so that we can not have things hampering or locking us down, so to speak, from being able to move and transfer people. And so it's not typically normal that these kinds of small changes in FTE would come to a school board. So I'm hoping you'll entertain see what it looks like next time and see if I can bring that as an informational item, if that's okay.
Board comments? I would say I certainly don't want to make more work for anybody. And I know you certainly don't want to hear it because it was in the past, but there have been times we've caught mistakes. And my other big concern is, again, sorry to bring up the past, but there were cuts we thought were made, and then we found out later they were slowly added back. If you can assure us that's not going to happen, that's great. The only other concern that I've had that I've looked at on this is and this is not really my job, it's just something I'm interested in, where the local control funding is spent, that the supplemental funds that it's spent on those populations that really are meant to have those funds spent there. And as long as I think Dr. Clark understands that's what I really am interested in, I will trust that he will look out for that. So yeah, that's my feedback.
Understood, absolutely. And I can appreciate that. You've had lots of reasons in the past to want to see all these changes. So I think again, I'd like to still bring you as an informational item that really the true increases, the true decreases, and any eliminations really should come as a laid off position, and that'll increase our accuracy. And I'm definitely striving for us to not make any mistakes.
I would agree as well with Trustee Mason that we do want to continue to monitor in particular when things are being shifted from one fund category to another, and when it involves LCFF supplemental dollars. That is an area that, you know, we do need to be able to report back to the public as to how those dollars are being spent and how they're improving student achievement for those specific students. So that's something we've been working to try to improve on our transparency there. So just, yeah, I think if we're all aware that that is in particular is a goal, not just for Trustee Mason, but I think for many of us and for the public as well. But I would agree with the order in which you're saying, let's not hold up the hiring. Let's go ahead and fill those vacancies, bring it to us as an informational and with clarity. So I would agree with that.
I appreciate that. Okay, that'll help us a lot.
Trustee Mayo, did you have a comment or question?
Well, I'm just trying to recall, and my memory is waning on me right here, why this document became so detailed. And there, you know, I believe at some point in time there must have been a request of the board to have that detail, because either labor groups were asking for the information, or there was perhaps some concerns about how the approvals were originating in site councils, because some of these have to go through site councils, I believe. Yeah. And also then, you know, it may be a little bit more clear when the funds are coming from a PTO or PTA. You know, as long as we understand the data and the information is recorded and is accessible to individuals in our community, be they the labor groups or the public, then I could certainly look to see what your future reports look like, or maybe for 1 or 2 sessions you could run a parallel report so that we could see what both would look like. But that may be more work in the long run. So,
understood. Well, why don't I endeavor to continue to bring the information to you, at least as an informational item, so that you don't have any reason to believe you're not seeing what you're used to seeing. That alone would help us quite a bit. And then the only other change would be that if you're of the belief that you still want to see times when funding might be changing, or positions are splitting, or something like that, we can still bring that. We do have to retype this and repackage it every 2 weeks for you. So we can keep doing that, but at least if it's informational, that alone would be some help to us. I think it might be a little bit better to bring you just the true increases and true decreases, because to be honest, or somehow, I think what I'll do is I'll work with fiscal to actually come up with a little bit more accurate language, because sometimes we're using the words eliminate and create. We're not actually creating new positions. I mean, you can argue that we are, because we eliminated and we moved the money, we created other ones, but really it's a transfer. So or account change. So I'll work with fiscal to maybe come up with maybe even more accurate language, and we'll keep bringing it to you, but as an informational item, if that's okay.
I would appreciate that. I'm not stuck to this particular format necessarily, and I understand what you're saying about the 0.25, you know, switching over to a different category. I would say the only one that I want to make sure that we see is the LCFF targeted supplemental. If something is being moved into there, we want to know the reason why. And
yeah. Okay.
And I think Dr. Clark heard all of our comments and will take them into consideration.
I appreciate the flexibility and the allowing us to maybe try to do things a little differently. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and that will be next would now be 16.2 for Ms. Cowan. You pulled that one?
Right,
do we have to vote on that one?
Oh, do we need to? Yes, we do. If someone wants to make a motion.
Let's see. I had opened the item.
So I will, let's see, I got the right one. Madam Chair, I move the approval of the board, what do they call it? The attached positions of the board list, September 14, 2020 is really what it's called on here. So.
Okay.
For classified personnel.
Right.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Trustee Mayo?
Yes.
Trustee Durkee?
Yes.
Trustee Cound?
Yes.
And Trustee Mason says yes, so that passes. Thank you very much. Now we're on to 16.2, which was previously 15.15.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and just I do want to say on the last one, I appreciate you're looking at ways to streamline. That's always a condition. So 1515, this is really, I think, just more a comment than a question. I was excited to see, so many new positions being filled. Not new positions, but vacant positions being filled to make sure that we're serving our students, including in the arts. You see a lot of band and art and drama. And I know in my own experience as a parent, and I think many of you can relate, this distance learning stuff, not so engaging normally, right? And we're all trying to figure out ways to engage our students, and arts and music and drama are some of the ways that we can really make sure to connect with our students. So I appreciate that some of those positions are being filled. I know that there are some that are still vacant, and so I would just say, as we as a district are posting some of these positions, I know we've got potentially a number of vacancies, both from the retirements that just happened and then also COVID and health issues, people unable to fill a role. So as job postings go out, maybe there's some way where you can let us know and we can help spread the word about these exciting positions in our district, so that we can get people into those roles and make sure that our students are really throughout our district having access to the full content standards, including all of our arts. So just a thought.
Absolutely. And
Thank you.
we are working with the business office with some ideas on how to do that. So we absolutely will do that.
Fantastic. Okay. And with that, I move to approve the recommended action for certificated personnel, item 16.2.
Okay.
Second.
Trustee Mayo?
Yes.
Trustee Durkee?
Yes.
Trustee Cound?
Yes.
Trustee Mason says yes, so 401. Very good. On to business agenda. 18.1, review and potential approval of adoption of district's 2019-2020 appropriations limit calculation, the GAN limit, which I think is something we do every year. Resolution 20/21-14.
Yep. So Dr. Gonzalez is going to take this item, and I will turn it over to her now.
Thank you. The GAN limit is part of the constitutional requirements. You are correct, Madam Vice President, that it is something that we do every year. It includes appropriations, ties to average daily attendance, aids that we've received. This is pretty standard. Any questions that the board has?
I don't. Any other board members have questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I move the approval of resolution number 20/21-14, the district's 2019-20.
Second.
Thank you. Trustee Mayo?
Yes.
Trustee Durkee?
Yes.
Trustee Cound?
Yes.
Trustee Mason votes yes. Passes 401. Very good. That takes us to 18.2, review and potential approval of nomination of 2 members and 2 renewals to the membership of the Budget Advisory Committee. Dr. Clark.
Yes. So we bring this item forward to the board, but we're hoping that the board can have a bit of discussion on this. I know that the BAC, as we've gone back and looked at records, we're going back, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and what we're finding is now that we kind of have a change on the board that is definitely going to happen because we have 2 trustees who aren't rerunning again, and it's sort of in that time where they would be nominating potential members, and it's a 3-year term, and so So we just kind of wanted to have a discussion about it, but I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Gonzalez, who maybe more specifically could kind of bring up what we're, what we could really use some help and some direction in sort of going in the right direction with this committee. So with that said, Dr. Gonzalez.
Thank you. The last couple meetings we've had, it's become apparent that we have a number of vacancies on this group. And when we went back and we really took a look at the appointments, approximately 2/3 of the entire committee, people are either termed out or there's no one representing those groups. So Cindy Rodriguez, who's one of our staff members, did a great job of reaching out and contacting not only the board members, but the individuals as part of bargaining groups, because every bargaining group has the opportunity to have someone part of this team. And we were able to fill a number of those positions. But then, of course, the question came up. We've got 2 board members who have appointments right now, and we didn't know how to handle that. So we figured, well, the best way to handle it is to go ahead and put it on the agenda and have you go ahead and approve it, specifically because we've got a meeting coming up next week. We've got brand new meetings, so we've increased it to 1 meeting per month, at least through probably March of next year. And we want to make sure that we've got a robust team of individuals that we're having conversations with and that we have appropriate representation. So with that said, we have 2 new appointments, one that's coming from the Diablo Management Association, DMA, and then one that is coming from our Teamsters group. We have a renewal for Anita Johnson, who's coming from Medea, our teachers union. And then we had 1 renewal so far from board member Durkee. So with that said, I'd love to open this up for conversation to see the direction that the board would like to go with the appointments at this time.
So thank you for, sorry, am I okay?
Yeah, go.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity for the discussion. I was the one that wanted to raise the question because of the awkward spot being in. And, so I would like that. I would like for Christy to be able to continue the next several meetings. But then, then I'm not sure what her status would be. So, so it just made me realize why, it seems like at least for board member representatives, it should be 4-year term. It should be aligned with the term of the board member. Then it would keep it nice and simple and clean, and maybe we don't want all the members 4 years. I'm not sure what the thinking is about other representatives. You can make them all 4 or whatever, but in the show. So I went ahead and put her application in. She has participated, and I think she's adds a lot of value to it. And so, there are a lot of really important meetings coming up, and so hate to have a hole there because of this misalignment. So that was part of my motivation. But I think it did raise us questions in general about the terms for all the representatives.
Well, Miss Trustee Mayo has been around longer than me, but I know when I was on the board probably for a whole year till the 2nd year came around before I was asked to put a representative on there. I didn't even know board members had a rep till I got a little form saying, can you please fill this out, which was fine because when you're first on the board, you got plenty on your plate anyway. So I do think it makes sense that it would at least go up to the end of that board member's term. And beyond that, and I would think I guess there should be an option if a new board member really has a burning desire to get a certain person on there. But I think the most important thing is we have, individuals from the different communities there, not so much just representing that board member as much as representing the community. So that's my thoughts.
I mean, I'm not sure I don't think that's factored in at all right now, right?
Yeah.
It really isn't like, let's make sure the community is represented. It's really, but of course, let's think about this. It will, if board members are now, 3 of you aren't really technically doing this for another 2 years, but, representing a specific area, then you would want, obviously pick someone from that area, then you would have, that would kind of take care of that issue. So it could naturally happen. But
so I understand the dilemma. My one thought, even though there is a crossover, it doesn't hurt to have more voices at the table, although the committee is a little bit larger to manage for a staff person. if if Christy were to serve her full 3 years, or maybe she would decide to resign after Mrs. Durkee steps down from the board. In some years, we've had very little attendance, and so, you know, any warm body was welcome at the meetings.
Right.
And my one intent would be that this remains a committee that reports to the superintendent, so that it takes some of the partisan discussion out of the information that's provided to the superintendent. Yes, we all have a way of wiggling our input into some of these meetings, whether it's through a representative or once it gets to the board table. But what I found was important was the individual's ability to speak freely, whether or not their viewpoint coincided with the board member that had appointed them.
Mm-hmm.
The labor groups are always going to be expressing their views, which is, you know, rightfully their privilege. So I guess I'm not helping any. If we wanted to make it according to the term, I'm wondering if the group established the 3-year term, not the board established the 3-year term, or if there were any bylaws that were established. So perhaps Ms. Gonzalez has that information.
I do. I have the meeting date and the notes from 2006. Agenda item 9.91, and it specifically states the members would serve 3-year terms. After 3 years, 6 members of the committee would rotate off. The process for selection of members would remain the same. And then what happened in, I'm sorry.
So can I just ask, Doctor, are you reading from the committee notes, or was it a board?
No, I'm reading from the actual agenda board docket, because
from
then
the board. Okay.
The group was reconstituted and the numbers of members were smaller, but nothing ever changed when it was brought back to the board in April 22nd, 2013.
Okay.
See, I think the 3 years was originally set up so that you could stagger when people went on and off, versus, and I don't know why 3 years was chosen instead of 2, because we were on the even election cycle. We did that in 2001, I think. So, you know, if we wanted to change it to the, you know, to coincide with the 4-year term, like Mrs. Mason said, it takes a couple of months for a newly seated trustee to identify someone to serve in that position.
But you know, it could be something as could be something part of the onboarding process, you know, so before someone, you know, we know when someone's elected, so before they actually take the seat, be told you're going to have this opportunity, be thinking about, you know, give them some ideas of how to think about it and what, you know, so right out the gate, they could put someone on there. Could do that part differently as well. I agree with you. I don't know. It took me a while too to find out I was supposed to have somebody.
Yes. Yes, that was true for me as well.
We could change it to perhaps that the person will continue until the new trustee identifies their representative.
Yeah, it's another idea. Yeah.
So,
but if there's 2 that go off and 2 that come on, which one would, you'd hope that the 2 would name their rep at the same time so that you wouldn't have to pick which one goes off.
No,
first.
Mrs. Durkee's would go off as soon as.
Yeah, which one?
Which one?
The new person.
Right. Right. I
I
guess
get
once
to,
you have
I get
areas,
to decide.
then
I
that
will
makes sense.
pick. Right?
Yeah.
No,
this will be easier once the
Yeah.
areas are clearly defined. But yeah, I wonder if it's clear to, rather than picking a number of years like 3 years or 4 years, just having it coincide with the board member in some way, either till the end of that board member's term who appointed the person, or as Ms. Mayo was saying, until another one is appointed for that
The only issue with that is if you were Miss Mayo's friend, you could have been there 15, 20 years.
Oh, right.
They've changed. They've changed.
Well, they would have to go through a process each 4 years, so it's not. Yeah.
Well, that
Until the end
sounds
of
like
that
that's-
term. Until the
sounds
end of
like,
that term.
Yeah, it sounds like the
Yeah.
general consensus is maybe it's a 4-year term.
Well, I guess for the board reps, but I don't know if that would
The
be
board, just
for
the board
everybody,
reps.
just the board reps. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't appoint until a year in, it's not 4 years from then, right?
No,
So
right,
I would say so that
yeah,
I would just take
yeah.
out the 3 or 4 years instead of saying a number of years. Just say
It coincides with the term of the board member representing them.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
That works.
Yep.
Okay, but in the short run, we're okay with Christy continuing. I mean, we would need to approve her.
I guess
with
you'll
that
find
new
out when we
language.
vote.
I guess that
So
new language.
did she
Yeah.
expire already? Is that what happened?
Yeah,
She
that's why
can't
I
attend
got
next
told.
week without this.
I don't know. I think she's already expired, right? I think that's why I was contacted about it.
Let's work on the terminology. She hasn't expired. Term has expired.
I know she's listening, so
term.
that's,
Along with 7 other
We love you, Christy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go and look, but I know that I'm assuming her term has possibly already ended, which
It
is
did.
why this had to happen.
Okay.
And so it's just, that's what brought it all up for me.
So can we make it so that she can go all the way to the end of your term? I don't know that she wants to sign up for another full 3 years.
Right,
necessarily
right.
at this
Well,
point.
I think if I don't know if we're going to take an action, at some point take an action to change the language. It says that board representatives coincide with the term of the board member.
Yeah.
And so then, if that were in place, then we approve this, and she would automatically end, when I'm ended. When I'm expiring, she'll expire. We'll
So-
expire together.
I guess the question is, can we deal with the term question
right
at this meeting according to the Brown Act? Or do we just address Christie's,
right,
the items there, the names there tonight, and then adjust Christie's to coincide with December 31st, something like that?
Yeah, I think for tonight, we should just be voting on the members that are being presented to us.
Okay.
But it gave us the opportunity to have the discussion moving forward. How do we want to see it?
That makes sense.
Which is pretty much what you said, wasn't it, Ms. Mayo?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just answering you. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with tonight. Okay. So having said that,
you want a motion?
If you'd like.
I move that the board approve the nomination of the following representatives to the Budget Advisory Committee: Rianne Falsgraf, Teresa Bergam, and Anita Johnson, for current 3-year terms, with Christy Paluzian, Mrs. Durkee's representative, to expire December 31st, 2020. Does that work?
Is that when I expire? Don't I expire before that?
That date sounds fine. I'll second that.
Okay, we got a second.
I
It
didn't
expire at the beginning of December, if you must know.
She'll be termed out. I didn't look at the calendar to see what the second Friday is. If anybody knows what the second Friday is right now.
And that also
that
gives
would
the
be
people
that would be good for me to know. When
That would be, the second Friday is the 11th, December 11th.
Is that the official day now that the county is confirming?
I'm just answering the first question you asked me. You said if that was the second Friday, and that is the second Friday.
But I think December 31st still works, because even if there is a meeting in December, I don't know that we'd have.
I think it'll work.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Trustee Mayo?
Yes.
Trustee Durkee?
Yes.
Trustee Count?
Yes.
Trustee Mason says yes, so that passes for 0-1. Thank you.
And we thank everybody for their involvement in this committee.
We do. We want that involvement. The more the merrier, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We appreciate you, Christy.
18.3, review and potential award of bid number 1871, paving and at maintenance and operations complex.
Yes. So I'm looking to see. Oh, I thought I was going to see Melanie's face, but I see. so
Well,
I will turn this. Oh, no.
If we have questions, or do we have a motion, or do we want more information?
I'll make a motion to move us along if you'd like.
That'd be great.
So I will move that we approve the award for bid number 1871, paving at Maintenance and Operations Complex.
Thank you, Trustee Durkee.
Second.
I have a second. Thank you. Trustee Mayo?
Yes.
Trustee Durkee?
Yes.
Trustee Cound?
Yes.
Trustee Mason votes yes, so that passes 401. Very good. Takes us to 18.4, Resolution 20/21-15, reducing or discontinuing the number of classified employees based on a reduction of or discontinuance of a particular kind of service, or PKS, for the 2020-2021 school year.
Yep, and I'm going to have Dr. Rubio available to answer any questions on this.
All right. Any questions, fellow board members?
I think just an explanation. Is this another cleanup from a decision that was made a long time ago and is now being corrected and adjusted?
No, that's a
or
great
is this
question.
a new decision? Are these
That's
new?
always possible. So no, these are actually two different school sites that have decided to go ahead and pull back some of their funding in regards to continuing with these positions. The bilingual one is actually 2.5 instructional assistant positions that are currently vacant. And the other position is not vacant. The 0.4875 is currently held by someone.
Which, can we know which schools these are, or is that not relevant in here?
You could know that. I'm sorry. The bilingual assistants, the two vacant ones are Meadow Homes, and the 0.4875. Let me see if I have that handy. Sugar. I believe it's Ayers Elementary. I'm going off of memory, which is always dangerous, I know. But I believe it's Ayers.
Okay, but basically site decisions. Decisions. Okay.
Any more questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I will move to approve Resolution 2020-21/15 to reduce the number of classified employees based on a reduction of a particular kind of service.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Trustee Mayo?
Yes.
Trustee Durkee?
Yes.
Trustee Cound?
Yes.
Trustee Mason votes yes, so that is 401. I believe the next two items have been pulled. Is that correct?
That is correct. We're pulling
Okay.
18.5 and 18.6. We'll bring them back at the next meeting.
We have no other closed session. And at the bequest of Dr. Clark, we will be adjourning this meeting in honor of Janice Howe, who worked for the district for some time and has sadly passed away. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are adjourned for the night. Thank you all. Thanks to all the tech people for supporting me, because I didn't want to do the whole thing, but thank you so much. It worked.
Thank you, Ms. Mason.
Oh,
Yes,
you're welcome.
thank you.
Thank you for stepping in.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Good night.